Let's we're gonna start. I'm starting late tonight, but I wanted to get this done. Um, First of all, I want to thank everybody who's been following and who are sharing the broadcast. Please continue to share. Let's put it. So, greetings all, greetings. Please share the broadcast. Greetings. So, greetings all, greetings. Please share the broadcast. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Please help us grow the platform. We really do appreciate you. We're going to talk about a number of things on the platform tonight, and I want you to help us by growing the platform. We really do appreciate you. I'll be going live shortly on TikTok, but before I do that, I wanted to make sure I've got this up and running so that we know what's going on. I'm going to be here for about an hour and a bit, and so we'll see. We really do appreciate you. I'll be going live shortly on TikTok. So let's have a look. Before I do that, I wanted to make sure I've got this up and running so that we know what's going on. I'm going to be here for about an hour and a
Share.
bit. Sure, let's carry on. Let's carry on with this. So, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Dream coach. Uh, dream, I think. Let me say coach. No, no, I got it. I got something. Yep. Yeah. Um. What else? What else? I'll send it to as many people as possible. So just bear with me. Greetings, greetings, all greetings, greetings. We are trying. We will be in touch. Just bear with me. So what I'm trying to do is to get this going. We will start shortly, but I just need to make sure I got as many people up to speed on it as possible, so that we can get the information out there. Because what we need to do, what we're trying to do, is to raise awareness. All too often, our leaders don't know. Not our leaders. We the people don't know the kind of people our leaders are going into agreement with. We don't know. So we need to be sharing that information in such a way now that it makes sense. When you see the information, you go, okay, you know something, I'm not too sure this is where to go. But anyway, so we're gonna put that in there. Let me see. I'm just trying to get as many people as possible on board. I will be sharing it just to as many people as I can, because I'm trying to build that platform. Please subscribe as you're coming in. Build the platform, subscribe, help us grow the platform. We need to build more and more people to join us. We need more and more people to watch the videos and share, particularly share the information. Um, so is it there? Yeah, I've done that. Okay, I'll put this in there. I will speak to her later on. Yeah, I'm just trying to get as many people as possible to be aware of what we're doing tonight, and most days until such a time that it gets to where it needs to get to. And oh my goodness me, okay, I've just seen something that is very shocking now. 1 second, let me just check that. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna. I can't show that on air. This is what I mean. I get a lot of information, but I cannot show what I just saw now on air. It is. Oh, that is. I don't even know what to say. But I'll come back and have a look at it. I'll come back and we will talk some more, but not now. I cannot. I cannot bring that into uh, public domain. There's a block. Yeah, 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 it is. Yeah. So we're going to carry on. We need to bring as much information. So please bear with me. When I share this, I really do need you to help me share the broadcast. Don't leave it. Uh, okay. All right. Oh, I have blocked font. Okay, I will do that. Okay, that's fine. I get that now. Okay. I understand now. There are things we need to speak about, but I am sending it to as many people as I can. So just bear with me. We will go live shortly. And I would like you to join me and share it to as many people as possible. What I saw now is just horrifying. Horrifying, horrifying. I will be in touch with others. I'm not trying to ignore, but it is just really tough right now. That information that has actually thrown me now, to be honest. But I'm trying not to. I've just got to be there. I've got to keep on with what you're trying to achieve because it is very important. Okay, let me find as many people as possible to put it to. Okay, anyway, I'll stop for now. We'll come back. Okay, so when I go live, please do share, share, share. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth about. Now we're going to go live now. I'm going to turn this down a bit so that it doesn't. Just turn it down. So greetings all. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. There's so much information that we don't know of. We need to be aware of both what the Arabs have done to Africans and what the Europeans have done to Africans. And we need to really make sure that we are on top of that. So let's go ahead. Greetings all. Greetings all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Greetings all. Greetings all. Citizen AY here. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So we're going to show you one or two things. I know it's going to be a tough one. Today will be a tough one. But I wanted to talk about this we need both Americans, Aboriginal Americans and Africans and everybody around the world to watch. Greetings, Hinda Badrama. Hindab Dirama. Greetings and welcome. Thank you very much. Greetings to you. So we need to really, I'm going to put the message. Thank you very much. Please tap on the screen as you're coming along. Greetings to you. Greetings to everybody joining. Please tap and share. Give us a thumbs up as you're coming in so that we can get the algorithm to get the numbers up on YouTube. Thank you very much. Right. So I'm going to show you. You will not be able to see the pictures on TikTok, on YouTube, but it's on TikTok if you join me. Greetings and welcome. Welcome to you all. Shortly, I am going to be going there on TikTok live. And if you can join me. What we want to do above all is to raise the level of awareness in our communities. Too much has been hidden from us. Far, far, far too many things have been hidden from many of us, and we do not know. I'm even finding out more information, and there seems to be more things that we can find out all the time. But greetings and welcome. Welcome to Citizen AY. Please tap on the screen and share. Tap, tap, tap away. Tap, tap. Help us grow the platform. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you and welcome. Share the broadcast. Tap on the screen. Let us get to 50,000 likes as you're watching right now. Would really like to do that. That would be a great help. Let us get there. With your help, it would be fantastic if we could do that. So do that. Okay, use it. Okay. So we need a lot of work to be done. And what we're trying to do is to raise that level of awareness. And that is where you come in. Please tap on the screen. Oh, Vima. Thank you. Vima, thank you so much. Greetings, greetings, beloved. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tap on the screen. Please ensure that as you're coming, you tap on the screen on YouTube. You give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Vimy. Yeah, Vimy, yes. Thank you very, very much. And help us grow the platform. Now, we are going to talk about a very important topic. All too often, as Africans or African American, Aboriginal Americans, I don't know what I found out some information and I want to be right. I've been finding out, hearing some things about the term that we should be using is African American. I mean, Aboriginal Americans. That is to say, you are of the land. A majority are of the land. And I'm happy to do that because I really want to respect what people are saying, you know. Greetings all, greetings, greetings. Tap on the screen, tap and share. Please help us grow the platform. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us grow the platform. Help us reach more people. We really do need your support. Tap on the screen, those of you on TikTok, and help us grow the platform. Share the broadcast, get more people in. Tonight's broadcast, you see it. It says 10 black communities destroyed by white supremacy in America. The reason why I'm doing this is a lot of Africans. If you go to a lot of Africans, the Bible, they taught Africans know about the Bible. They know about the people, the New Testament, and all of that, but they are not aware about what the U.S., the United States, has done to melanated people, Aboriginal Americans, throughout the centuries, and we need to begin to explain that to our fellow Africans. This is not for the government of the in Africa. Many of the government officials probably know this, but because they are compromised, they cannot do anything about it. But we need to know, because we can ask questions. In knowing this, we are now going to be able to ask questions. You know, greetings all, welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings to you, Vimy. Thank you so much. And we will now be able to actually bring people, give people awareness of what is going on. Please, as you're watching, give us a thumbs up, and help us grow the platform. Hit the like button on TikTok. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're carrying on from yesterday. Yesterday, we had an engaging discussion, and it's not that we will all. The idea is not for us to be going in the same direction, all of us, or have one view. I understand that people will have a difference of opinion. We will have different ideas and different suggestions. The idea is to air all of this so that we can begin to get to a consensus at some point of the best course of action we can take collectively. So that is really what this program is really about. We want to be able to encourage Africans to begin to really, and Aboriginal Americans and all melanated people around the world, to begin to actually partake in the governance and know a lot more information than we do. So now, this I will be doing another show where we will talk about what the Arabs have done. For example, in Sudan, we need to talk about Sudan and what the Rapid Special Forces have been doing to Sudanese people. Now, the Rapid Special Forces are being funded by and armed by the United Arab Emirates, and they are destabilizing Sudan because the Arabs they have an Arab leaning, and I think many of the RSF are controlled by the Arabs on Sudanese soil. And these are the kind of things that we are not often talking about. So we need to understand that as much as there are issues that we're talking about in terms of the colonization by the Europeans, there is also the colonization by the Arabs. Let's not forget, in the 7th century, the Arabs started enslaving Africans after they saw Mansa Musa and the wealth. Mansa Musa remains the richest man to have ever lived. Many of you will know the story. I'll come and do another show about that. Mansa Musa is the richest man that has ever in any situation, whatever way you want to quantify it. This is the man the richest man that ever lived, and he was from Mali. And that we need to tell our own story. So when they tell you that this guy is somebody is rich now, no, he was so wealthy that when he went into any community, as he was going to Mecca, the price of things just went. He crashed prices of communities and commodities and things because of the amount of wealth that he carried with him as he went to Mecca and came back. And it was after that journey, shortly after that journey, that the Arabs started enslaving Africans on the African continent. So we need to be very, very clear that both Christianity and Islam have done serious damage to Africans on the African continent. So I'm just being factual. So, but now let's go back into the issue now. Yesterday, I talked about the fact that, and we're still hearing things that Trump said. I'm going to show you something that I read now, and I was incensed when I read it. So, so here we go. Boy. This is what Trump said. He said, and this is why today's program is very important. He said this, please tap on the screen, tap, and share, help us grow the platform. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please subscribe to us on YouTube as you're watching and help us grow the platform. It's a pleasure to have you join us. Please give us a thumbs up as you're coming in. Every time you give us a thumbs up, it helps get our algorithm to reach more people because we are talking about very important information that is seldom talked about by the mainstream media. Now, this is what Donald Trump wrote, and this is why it is relating to this particular topic. He says here, it is a total disgrace that the G20 will be held in South Africa. Afrikaners, people who are descended from the Dutch settlers, also French and German immigrants, are being unalived, he said, and being dismembered, shall we say, and their land and farm are being illegally confiscated. No U.S. government official will attend as long as these human rights abuses continue. I look forward to hosting the 2026 G20 in Miami, Florida. So now you can see now that what he's talking about and that what he's saying, what Trump is saying there is simply not true. It is not based on any fact whatsoever. It is all lies. And we need to call it out. So please share the broadcast. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please, as you're coming in on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, share the broadcast, let us reach more people. So you can see now that what Trump has said there, he's talked about that there's human rights abuses. So what we want to do for the benefit of Africans and Haitians and others who may not know what, I believe mostly Africans anyway, because a lot of our African leaders are going to the US and trusting everything that they're saying, not knowing that the human rights abuses carried out by the US is incredible. And we are going to give you just 10. We are going to give you 10 communities in tonight in America that the US, thank you very much, Lord B, where that the US has actually destroyed 10 Black American communities or Aboriginal American communities that the US destroyed. The reason why we need to know this as Africans is because when they bring the Bible, these are the same people who are bringing the Bible to you. You need to understand that. These are the same people who are bringing the Bible to you. And they are telling you, follow the Bible. You have to be good. You have to be this. And what they are doing to the American Aboriginal communities is sickening. It makes one sick to the stomach. And we need to be aware of it so that at least so that we all know as Africans what they're doing to people that look like you and me. And that will inform. Okay, I'll bring in Vanome. Greetings. Okay, I'm going to bring her in straight away so she can join me. So that should inform our thinking. There is another thing we're talking about. There's a heritage fund, which I'm trying to understand. I will talk about that. Greetings, Vanome. Greetings. How are you doing?
Greetings.
Greetings.
King and the family. I'm listening.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Welcome, Queen Vanna. Yeah, so Queen Vanna is she is a great person, wonderful woman, and she's champions everything Aboriginal, American, African. She stands for melanated people around the world, and she's been championing this for a good while now. And we salute her courage and her fortitude in carrying forward and empowering all of us and really helping. And she actually helps a lot. We've helped a number of people in terms of things, and she always does that. She sends funds to everybody as soon as she gets anybody she has the opportunity to get to know. So we salute her very much. Welcome, Queen Verna. Now, as I'm saying this now, so we are going to talk again tonight. I want Africans need to know this because you see, again, I'm going to read to you what Trump said. Trump said it is a total disgrace that the G20 will be held in South Africa. Afrikaners, people who are descended from the Dutch settlers. You see, so they are descended from the Dutch settlers. So already you know that they are Europeans, right? And French and German and English, you should also add, are being unalived and, you know, in South Africa, he said. Farms are being illegally confiscated. By the way, you notice that Trump has not talked about, I spoke about it in the last broadcast I did a day or so ago, where I said that 80% of the land in South Africa is still in the hands of settlers, of colonizers. And the people who own the land still don't, they only have barely 8% of that land. If it's between 72% or thereabouts, and I can give you the exact figures if we're going into it later on. But you will not hear Trump talk about that. So this is obscuring of the facts that the YT system is always engaged in. So we need to start telling our people to know their history. Because when you know their history, then the Bible becomes meaningless. When you know what they've done, you will not trust their Bible. When you know what they have done to people that look like you and me, you will not have any trust in that Bible. And that is the object of what we're trying to do tonight. Please share the broadcast. We want as many people as possible to know what's happening. Greetings and welcome. Thank you very much, Lord. Lord B. He sent me he sent us a heart. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna everybody, please, we welcome gifts, and please gift myself and the panel when the panel connects to you. If you feel the connection with the panel when they're saying something that actually you learn from, reward them. Reward those who say things that you can learn from and grow from, because we need to help each other through this process. So you can see now that Donald Trump is not telling us the fact. I will give you that figure about the 90%. In fact, I'm going to do it now because I don't want to even leave it anymore. I am actually not happy with the fact that he's trying to play that fast one. So we're going to show you quickly just before, because it doesn't talk about that, but we will keep talking about it here. So 72% of the land is still in the hands of 72% of the land. Let me see if I bring it up. I wonder if it will do it because I did it. So let me just show you this, so that when you hear, we need to keep repeating this so that the world knows what's going on. Okay, so one thing to say quickly, I admire, I mean, there are two Mandelas. There are two Mandelas for me. It's one person, but you will get what I'm saying in a minute. So you see here, as of 2017, Land Audit cited white South Africans, who make up a minority of the population, around 7 to 8%, own approximately 72% of the country's private agricultural land. What does that mean? But you will not hear Trump talk about this. Trump will not talk about the fact that 72% of the land is in the hand of just 8% of the people who are not indigenous. They are not indigenous to South Africa. That is a clear injustice, but they will not talk about that. This is what we need to keep reminding ourselves. We need to know these facts. So when he comes and he makes a statement like he did now, sorry, let me just go back. When he makes a statement like this now and says, oh, it's a total disgrace that the G20 will be held in South Africa, Afrikaners who are descended from the Dutch settlers, straight away, that's the clue. They are Dutch settlers and French and German and English. So their roots are in Europe. And they have taken 72% of the land that belongs to the people of black people in South Africa. This is an injustice, however way you want to cut it. Now, to further buttress the point of what I'm making, here is what I would like you to look at. So now, to counter his false narrative, we are going to go into 10 cities. We are going to look at 10 cities in America. Sorry, go back again. So 10 black communities destroyed by whiteys in America. You know, white communities went into black communities and destroyed it. Please tap on the screen and share, and we welcome gifts as you're watching. Thank you, those of you who have gifted, and those of you who are on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up as you're watching to help us grow, get the algorithm to help us reach more people. Tap on the screen and share. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead. So now, so there's 10 communities. Now let's go and look at them. So we're going to look at this one. Okay, let me quickly do this. I'll come back to you that in a second. Where is it? Okay, now I'm going to read this to you. Let's read this together. And I want to show you, because we need our people. Please share this broadcast. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So 10 black communities that were destroyed. The U.S. has carried out perhaps one of the U.S. government has carried out and supported perhaps the worst cases of human rights abuses on the planet. I kid you not. But it is well hidden. And that is why we need to bring this to the world's attention, to Africa's attention. Many of the African leaders, many church leaders don't know what we're about to go, what we're about to expose. I mentioned some of them. I mentioned Tulsa, Oklahoma yesterday. But let us look at, there are 10. There are 10. So there's Rosewood, there's Tulsa, let me see, Tulsa, Rosewood, Elaine, Arkansas, East St. Louis, let me see, Illinois, Wilmington, North Carolina, Ocoee, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee, New Orleans, what else? Atlanta, Georgia, Slocum, Texas. So we're just taking 10, and we're going to look at that. And please make sure that all Africans are watching this. Because please, those communities, they are the ones who will be bringing the Bible to you. It's from those communities where they carried out this destruction of black communities, Aboriginal American communities. It is from those communities that those who are going to bring the Bible to you in Africa to try and save your soul, that's where they will come from. That's where they will come from. That's their demography. And let me say, I personally recognize the Aboriginal Americans that many melanated people are calling themselves, because we now know, all of us know that the first people on the entire planet have been melanated people. Anywhere on the planet, everywhere they've dug, they found melanated people's remains. Black people, everywhere that they've gone. And that is why we need to, so that is telling us indication that this narrative that Aboriginal Americans are black people want there first. It's a false narrative that they are putting others there first. You know, so we need to be very clear. They were there, and we need to actually recognize that. And of course, there's been some slave trade movement and everything else. But we need to be, the whole story has to be known. We're still trying to understand how all of this fits together. But we need to be very, very clear, very, very clear that the first people of the planet, entire planet, are black people. That is indisputable. the science confirms it as well. Their science confirms it as well. But okay, so let's go and read this. We may go into detail depending on what how it goes. We'll go into detail. I'll read here first, and I'll read Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think I've talked about that, but I want to really I might go into it in a bit more detail. So Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood District, known as Black Wall Street. This thriving economic hub was burned and destroyed by a white mob in the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921. Now, is that not a human rights abuse? I'm asking. Is that not a human rights abuse? So let's start keeping records of the human rights abuse, because Trump is trying to tell us that South Africa are carrying out human rights abuse against those settlers that came and displaced Africans. I will do another program about the Land Reform Act in South Africa in 1892 or 1895, thereabout. I will do a program. I've done it before, but I'll do it again. We need to keep reminding ourselves of what they've done so that we can't forget. They keep telling us, with the story, they never tell us. We are not allowed to speak or talk, say our, to talk about our own story. We have to, our story is told from the perspective of those who colonized us. And we need to change that. We must reverse that collectively as people. So you can see that now. So they burned and destroyed. The thriving economic hub was burned and destroyed by a white mob in the Tulsa race. Mulhan Allen, I'll bring you in. Okay, greetings and welcome. I'll just pause for a second. So Mubiru Allen, greetings Mubiru Allen. Who's speaking? Hi there. Mubiru, are you? Hello, you all right? Hello, okay, I'll mute you. I don't think you're ready to talk just yet, so I'm going to mute him so I can carry on with the broadcast. Okay, so now, so you can hear now. So an estimated 30 to 300 people were unalived. More than 1,400 homes and businesses were burned, leaving nearly 10,000 black residents homeless. That's just one community. That is just in Tulsa. And this was done by the white mob in the Tulsa race. That is what they've done, the whiteys. Okay, I'll use the right word because I don't want to get flagged. The whitey. You understand what I'm saying? This is what was done. And we need to know that. We have to be very clear that this is what they don't talk to us about. This is what they don't want us to know. And we need to make sure that this message is told in every African community on the African soil, so that we know when they come and start, when these people who have done that to people that look like you and me, who are Africans, what do you think they would do to you as Africans on the African continent? What do you think they would do to you when what they've been doing? And this was in 1921. This was in 1921. There are even more stories that are not even on record of the destruction that has taken place. Please tap on the screen as you're watching, and we give the platform. Will help us grow the platform. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. As Africans, we must know this, because the communities in which they come from, they displaced the black people who Aboriginal Americans who look like you and me. Now, if they do that to the Aboriginal Americans on the ground who were there originally first, what do you think they would do to you as an African? Never mind what they write down to you. Never mind what they say. But what actions are they likely to do if they've done this? Over 1,400 black American homes destroyed. Over 300 people, between 30 to 300 unalived. What do you think they would do in your community when they come to your community? We need to inform ourselves of this. Because when they come and tell us a story, we take that story on. But we need to start looking at where that story is coming from. So when you now know this, and we need to know this, because when they now come with the Bible, we know what they are likely to do, that the Bible is a trick. that Bible. They do not follow. They are not following the words that are in that Bible. They're not. Okay? So let us read more. I'm going to read. Let me go into that Tulsa one, actually. I'm going to find the, if I can find it for you. Try and find the Tulsa one, because I think I've seen, yeah, there we go. Let me see, is that the one? I'm trying to find that Tulsa one for you, and then we can go into it. So I'm going to just read it like that, then I'll go into it, because I think it's best we do that, so that we have a clear understanding. I don't want to leave anything to imagination. I don't. I need you to actually see it for exactly what has happened. Was it July? Okay, no. Okay. So let me see. Tulsa, Black Wall Street. So let me just put Black Wall Street on here. Then I will bring it up. Then we can talk about it. Okay, now. There we go. So here we go. So I'm going to just go into that, and I'll read that more. Because there I just give you just a quick, overview. Now we're going to read deeper. So let's go and read deeper to what they did. Now, that is the smoke. They did so much destruction. You could see smoke billowing. Can you see the smoke there? There's in the picture. This was in Greenwood, right? You need to know this as Africans. You need to know. Tulsa riot redirects for mass, you see, for mass pew-pewing. You see? Okay? So now, those were the homes that were burned. But you will never hear Trump talk about that. You will never hear Trump talk about what they've done. And it's the support. These people did this with the support of the government, the US government. They hushed it. Nobody has been convicted for damaging Black Wall Street. Nobody. Quote me. Not one single person has been was convicted of the time. And there has been no compensation. Maybe now they're beginning to organize a compensation recently. But up until a few years ago, about 6 months ago, even 6 months to a year ago, no compensation was paid. And there is an old lady, I've forgotten her name now. There's an old lady who's the last surviving person in fact, you know what? Let's go and do this. Let's break it up. Last surviving member, okay? Surviving Black Wall Street. Yeah, let's get it out so that you know I'm not telling you lies here. You know, bring it up. Okay, so no. Last surviving Black Wall Street person. Black Wall Street massacre. Survivor, sorry. Yeah, survivor is the word, because she survived the ordeal. Even better word. You will see she's about 102 years old or something like that. Let me see. Oh my goodness. So Viola Fletcher, who passed away. Viola Fletcher, who passed away in November 25, 2024, was the oldest known living survivor of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. She, along with Leslie Billingfield, Hugh Van Ailes, were the last known survivors to testify before the Congress in 2021. So everything I'm saying here, I'm saying it so that we Africans need to know this. You see, we need to know our own stories. Aboriginal Americans need to know what they've done to Africans, and Africans need to know what they've done to Aboriginal Americans, so that we are arming ourselves with knowledge. So when they come with us with that book of theirs, the Bible, and they're holding it, and it's holy and everything else, you need to know what has been done. So let me see if I can find the picture of Viola Fletcher. I wonder if we'll bring it up. There she is. Great lady. She was a child when they burnt down Black Wall Street. We need to tell our own stories on our own terms, amongst ourselves, to get to know what was done. They are not going to tell the stories. You will never find this in the school books. You will never find the story in the school books. That's just one story. You saw the smoke billowing. Now you connected the face. The last surviving person, 111 years. And I'm glad she survived this long, because now you can connect. This is not something, this is a living memory. Please tap on the screen and share the broadcast. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So we are doing this because we need to learn our own stories, and we have to raise awareness of each other. I am an African, and I'm a Yoruba man, but I have a strong connection with my Aboriginal American brothers, and I have deep respect for them, deep love for them, likewise for fellow Africans as well. And we need to demonstrate that love. For too long, we've allowed this religions that they place on our minds to section us off into different parts and think, oh, well, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim. No, this unites you. With this, the treatment that you are getting, that they got, the terrible treatment that they got in Tulsa, is the same treatment that you will get, that we are getting in Africa. You understand? So if we don't understand, if we don't begin to connect that, we are not going to bring an end to this white supremacy system. We need to globalize the knowledge of what they've done. They've hidden it. And they are, in their faces, they're telling us to feel sorry for settlers. And by the way, nothing is happening to the people in South Africa right now. In fact, when they talk about people being harmed on farms, do you know the people that actually get harmed? The workers, the black workers on the farms in South Africa are the ones who are harmed by the settlers. But again, Trump will not tell us that story. So you see, the need for us to tell our own story is beyond doubt. We have to start telling our stories. And I'm hoping that others will do the same thing I'm doing here. Just take that story, tell it, share it, put a record somewhere. I'm putting records. We are putting records everywhere, so that the time will come. It may happen sooner. It may not. If it happens sooner and people are waking up and the things start taking, fine. If not, this will, somebody somewhere at some point in the future will watch this, and their DNA will speak, and all of those things, they will be able to, it would awaken that awareness in them to make sure that if that job has not been done to free us from this bondage, they will take that on. So this is not about this is something that we need to do as a community. This is a job we must do as a community. So there's the lady there. May our ancestors welcome her with, continue to join with her in getting us to wake up, because her job was to make us know this story was real. If we didn't have a picture of her, it'd be difficult to connect. We have a picture, we have her name, we have the location and the smoke. All of that is bringing that story to life, something that's been buried, you see. So we need to do that. Okay, so please tap on the screen. Please tap and share. Those of you on YouTube, the name of the lady, Viola Fletcher. She is she was the last known surviving Black Wall Street survivor. And she passed away in 2024, I believe they said. Yeah, so fantastic lady, great spirit, and we applaud her, and we must never ever forget that name. Say her name, Viola Fletcher. She's at our ancestor now, and we say thank you for being in the struggle, and thank you for waking us up, because by telling her story, she's with us, she's in us, she's among us, and she's telling us, yes, this is what we need. So please share the broadcast. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Let's go ahead. Okay, so now I'm going to read a bit more, then I'll go to the next one. So date, May 31 to June 1st, 1921. You see? Target, black residents, their homes, businesses, churches, and schools, and municipal buildings. Attack, white supremacist terrorism, terror, race riots, racial violence, lynching, pogrom, arson, mass murder, ethnic cleansing. So what did Trump talk about again? What's happening in South Africa? So did Trump, which part of, can you see that this is the straight propaganda by the President of the United States? I've just picked one community. One community I've just picked. And look at the difference. One. Okay, let's carry on with the story. So you can see. So these are the stories that they will not tell you. And I'm saying it. The Bible that they will bring to you will come from those who took over the community, and they've not paid a penny for taking over the land that belonged to the people that were thriving. They had their own bank, they had businesses. If they destroyed it because it was successful, and they did not want the Aboriginal Americans to have any success. Everywhere they see the success is happening, it's brought down. So please tell me, so when that government comes to your country, what do you think they are going to be about? Africans, I want us to think about this. What do you think they are going to be about? When in their communities, they're carrying out horrendous human rights abuses, and they cover it up. But then they come and tell you, oh, you have to be democratic. Oh, you must be this. Oh, you must be that. Oh, we mean well. Yes, we want the economy to grow. And they're sucking the life out of your economy. We need to know all of this. Let's carry on. So, they had weapons. You see? They had weapons. You see? Pew-pews. Things that go poof and cause damage. And of course, fire. Total dead. There's records of it. So I'm giving you records so that you know. These are indisputable facts. I'm giving you indisputable facts. Let's read a bit more. Death toll and displaced unknown. 36 total. 26 black and 91 records. 10 white person dead. 150 to 200 black, 51 in 1921. I don't want to, 39 confirmed, 26, 13, and the age range, 75 to 100 to 150, estimated. So 300 anyway. Injured, 800. 232 serious injuries. Exact number unknown. Perpetrators, you see that? I'm just showing you. You see that? Motive. But these are the same people who are in government. These are the same people who are going to bring the Bible. Let me find their Bible for you. If I can find it. Oh, I haven't got it here. Oh, have I? Oh, okay. Where is it? Beg your pardon. I think I have it. Ah, yes. Here we are. This is a Bible they will bring. They will bring that to your community. So this shows that I'm not using it. It's gathering dust. They will bring that to your community, and they will be preaching all manner of, I don't know what they're preaching. Please tap on the screen as you're watching. Those of you on YouTube, as you're watching, help us grow the platform. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth power. Those of you on TikTok, can we get to 50,000 likes tonight before the end of the program? And we welcome gifts. Please help us grow the platform. Tonight, it's about educating an entire African continent. Please share this message, because we need to know those who are bringing the Bible and the Quran to us. What are they doing to people that look like you and me within their community? That will tell you anything. The Bible and the Quran will tell you nothing about what they are about, but what they are doing to the people that look like you and me in their community. That is where the fact will lie. Please, Please go ahead. Thank you very much, Verna. I appreciate this. I'll bring you back in. I'm trying to add you. Sometimes it drops off. Please tap on the screen and share. Help us grow the platform. You are listening to Citizen A1, the platform where we speak truth about. Verna May, Queen Verna May, welcome. Would you like to say anything at this point? Based on what, because you are from that area in America, you can tell us to back up what I'm saying. Any thoughts on this so far? Thank you very much.
Yeah, they also had destruction from the sky. You know that, but for
Yep, they did. Yes, from the sky as well. That exactly, and that is the proof that the government was involved. You are out. Thank you for bringing that in. Fantastic point. This is meant to happen, man. This is meant to happen.
Yes.
Wow.
Also, when we think of the Civil War, we've been told that was to set us free. The Civil War was the American whiteys taking over the country.
Correct.
They were given the land. They were given our land to join the military. Okay? They were they were given our land. It was not about freeing us. It was about getting us out of America. And it was like in 1622 when they started that getting Black Americans off the land.
There we go.
And
talk that
say thousands were shipped out. But the total that it's been estimated there was 100 million Black people living in America when the Europeans began to come there. Okay.
Thank you.
Million.
You see that? You see, so we need to. You see why we have to tell our own stories. Confirmed by as Verna May saying, we need to take control of the story, because the narrative and the perspective of those who are writing it, who are not us, will be skewed. But now we are hearing the facts. Now we're hearing that. So now that tells me that the story that we're telling about the Native Americans and the other ones is probably the story of the Aboriginal Americans that has now been co-opted into the story. It's looking like that more and more. But let's carry on. Thank you very much for that, Verna May. I appreciate that. Okay, let's carry on now. So you can see the story. I'm going to read a bit more. So it was a 2-day long, 2 days. Imagine what the horror that the people of that community must have gone through. 2 days of ceaseless horror, terror, attacks by those who wanted to destroy their community. So let's read what they say. YT terror massacre that took place Greenwood District, Tulsa, Oklahoma, United States between May 31 and June 1st, 1921. Mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed as deputies and armed by city government officials. What did we just say? What did I just say? I said the U.S. government colluded in unaliving and taking the lives of the people. And they said it. This is telling us who these people are. Africans, take note. African leaders, take note. This is telling you who these people are. It's not about me saying, I'm just reading to you what they've done. But they hide this from you. And then they put the Bible in your face and you think, oh, it's a trick. It's like a smoke screen. The Bible is like a smoke screen. When that is going on, you're so taken over by that one, the reality of what they've done and what they're going to do to you is hidden. We are here to blow all of that away, to get rid of this illusion, so you see the real picture of what their intent is. Okay, let's carry on. So you can see now, I want to read that bit again, because I think it's important. Some of whom, mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed deputies. So the government appointed them as deputies in a Black community. So just understand this. Majority of the population in that Greenwood District area were Black. But suddenly the government, to take control, they armed. And this is a playbook that they've done over and over. They're doing it right now in Nigeria. Oh, man, we need to wake up. So what they did, they armed those deputies. They made their people, white people, deputies in a black community. Danger signs already. And then once they made them deputies, they armed them. They are attacked. Then they now attacked the black community. Many of them were not armed. They attacked them. So you see, now the same thing that they, let me give you why this is so important for Nigerians to actually understand. What they've done in Nigeria is they've armed Boko Haram. They've armed Boko Haram with weapons, bringing helicopters. Again, the same thing. They brought helicopters, and the white Americans went into the forest where the Boko Haram are, gave them weapons to attack the communities. Exactly the same thing that has happened, that happened in Tulsa. Exactly. That's right. Exactly the same thing. So we need to start thinking and understanding. When you think, oh, something new, it's the same playbook. It's the same playbook. And then they say to us, it's a religious genocide. No. This is a genocide that was instigated by the government on the people of Tulsa and the US government on the people of Nigeria. And then they tell you, oh, it's religious and it's a religious thing. It is not. We need to understand and start reading between the lines, and we need to tell our own stories. It's the same thing they're doing everywhere. And we need to wake up, all of us collectively, myself included. And when I started seeing the pattern, that is why we need to, if we don't know what was done before, when they put this Bible in front of you and you don't know all of the story, you will believe everything you're told. But when you put the two together, you will drop this one faster than you can say drop, because you realize it's all a ploy. Let's read on. Let's read on. Okay, so now they said here, so when they armed by city government officials, so you know for a fact that the US government had a hand in what is going on with the Boko Haram. And we got evidence, as Scott Perry, the US senator, said that the USAID was being used to fund Boko Haram. This is evidence of the US government putting deputies and arming the officials to turn against the community of black people in America. Please tell me, is that not human rights abuse? I'd like to know, is that not human rights abuse? I'm just asking. We need to say this like it is. Vanna, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm just agreeing. You're right. Keep going.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Vanna. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So what I'll mute you so it doesn't clash. So please, those of you watching this, make sure you share this to your community, because what we're doing is we're going between the lines and understanding the connection with the past and the present. This was all the way in 1921. And look at what's happening in Nigeria right now. The same playbook. The same playbook. We need to connect the dots. As Africans, as Aboriginal Americans, we need to understand. We need to arm ourselves with this knowledge, so that when we see them coming and telling us stories about economy, religion, and all of that, know that they have an agenda. They have an agenda. And whatever comes out of their mouth, don't worry about it. It's all waxing lyrical. The reality is their actions. Watch out for their actions on your soil. Okay, now, so listen here. So they armed by city government officials attacked black residents and destroyed homes. So the armed people, now they got arms from the government. So they got the backing of the government. Again, that means they have been given the go-ahead to commit crimes, state-sanctioned crimes. This is state-sanctioned. This is collusion of the government in unaliving the people of that community. Just like they've been doing with this book. The same playbook. If you go all of Congo, same thing. It's the same strategy. But what we need to know is, before we let these people into our communities, We need to start knowing all of this. Because when you are armed with knowledge, you are less likely to allow them anywhere near you. That is why this book is one of the most powerful mental addiction that they use to take you completely to forget the reality. And they build a picture of something, a heaven in the sky. We need to wake up.
But
Greetings. Yeah. Go ahead.
Not only is the picture that we are actually praying to and just got all our hopes on it, but that picture that we see of that JESUS is based on a man called Caesar Borgia.
Correct.
And he unalived his own brother. He took advantage of his sister sexually. His father was a pope. He was a military leader, and guess what? He unalived many of us.
Okay? Indeed.
So you're talking about a sadistic. That picture is a copy of a sadistic unaliver.
Exactly. Completely.
So now imagine what is happening to us.
Completely.
The separation of our ancestors, of being in contact with our ancestors that are with us, within us. The separation, what they've done now, they put a wall between, even though the ancestors are in between, we cannot communicate with them by praying to idols. So as long as we're praying to that idol, we're giving them power to rule us.
Yeah. Yeah, so well said. No, well said, Vara. Well said, and very good point to raise there. To see everything has been really carefully orchestrated to really occupy our psyche, our mentality, and we are breaking free. We are breaking free, and all of this is designed. What we're doing here is designing to wake us up. When you know facts, you know lie, you will see through the lies. When you know the history of what was really done, you will see through the lies. But when you don't know it, they will tell you whatever they want to tell you, and you will be believing in that lie. And what we want to do is to wake us up collectively. We have to collectively wake up from this amnesia that we've been put as a people. Pangea was the planet, and we were all melanated people, the first people of the planet of Pangea. But anyway, we'll come back to that. Now, so it says here, the event is considered the worst incident of racial violence in American history. But you will not hear any U.S. president or anybody talk about it. And again, I don't know if they've made paid compensation. I think they recently started making a compensation payment, I think. But the families of those in that community, have they found every family member and made compensation back to them? Have they found them? That is something I'd like to know. So, but let's read on. So the attackers burned and destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the neighborhood at the time, one of the wealthiest black communities in the United States, colloquially known as Black Wall Street. They didn't want to leave any evidence of the greatness of that community. They didn't want to leave it. They wiped them off the face of the earth. It's as though it never happened. But that is what Trump doesn't want us all to know. They don't want us to know these things. They want us to continue to believe in their false narrative of their greatness and whatever else. But they're happy to take on the bit that they think is great. But when we talk about the things that they've done to get to that point that is so-called great, they want to hide it. They want to hide it. And we cannot let that happen, because this is impacting all of us collectively now. So let me just read that again to make sure. No, I'm not going to read that, but I'm going to go up. So where was it? Beg your pardon. Just want to make sure I found it up. But I mean, I can read. You can read some more. I'm going to go into too much detail. Let me read the story to you. Yes. Now, this is what they've done. They said the massacre began during the Memorial Day weekend after 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting Sarah Page, a white 21-year-old elevator operator in the nearby Drexel building. He was arrested, and the rumors that he was to be burned spread. The most widely reported and corroborated inciting incident occurred as the group of black men left when an elderly white man, OB man, a black man, and demanded that he hand over his pistol. They demanded he hand over his weapons. But these people will come and tell us, oh, come, we want you to be. We need to understand that this religion that they do is disarming us mentally. It's weakening us mentally. Prepare for us to be taken over, controlled, and used as they wish. Listen to that. You see, it said here, when an elderly white man approached OB man, a black man, and demanded that he hand over his pistol, man refused, and the old man attempted to disarm him. A gunshot went off. Can you see that? These are the things that we need to simply know. If we don't know this information, how can we solve our problems? When you know this information, then you know the Bible is useless. Because you don't want to hear anything people like this do. You don't want them around you in your community because you know what they're going to do. You need to know these things. So, here we go. So the gun went off. And according to sheriff's report, all hell broke loose. Can we trust the sheriff? Bearing in mind the sheriff and the deputies were armed by the government. It's looking like this was an orchestrated plan all along. Start off something, do something somewhere, something goes off, and then we attack. The same playbook. If you go and look at so many things that's happening in Africa, you can trace it back to this same playbook. You can trace it back to the same playbook. Tap on the screen, help us share the broadcast. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Now, are we done? So two groups shot at each other until midnight when a group of black men were greatly outnumbered and forced to retreat to Greenwood at the end of exchange. So, of course, they were outnumbered because what? The government had already primed the whitey group with weapons and everything else to overwhelm the community. Remember, the majority of the people in that community were black. And the government supported the minority. Look, just please reason with me. Do you see this in what is happening in this Palestine? Do you see that similarity? I hope you can see it. So this when you look at this, when you see what is going on, we have to know this. Every African community and every Aboriginal American community need to know all of this. This happened in America. Wire. This happened in America. Yes, wire. This happened in America. Let me show you. You don't know. This is what. Thank you. Let me bring you up. Wire. Because these are the kind of things we need to do. If we do not do this, if we do not begin to wake ourselves up, we are going to be holding on to that useless Bible, and they will continue to control our minds. We need to wake up as on the African continent. We have to. So wire. So let me show you a picture. Welcome on board. What would you like to say? I'll come back to you, Owaken Mo.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, what would you like to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, like here, mostly we have churches, modern companies here in Nigeria. I'm from the eastern region of Nigeria. I'm an Igbo man.
Yes. Welcome, my brother. Welcome.
We have been suppressed by the government. We have been facing a lot. Lot have been going on. If you check the news.
Yes.
So we know what is going on, but the media don't carry it.
Exactly. So let me show you some. You see what you see here? Would you believe that this is in America?
I can't believe it.
It is. This happened to black people in their community. The U.S. government, because the community was rich, like you Igbo people, when you go and do business and you're successful and all of that.
Yeah.
What this community was like that. They were rich, they were successful, and the government, the white people in that community were jealous. So the government and them worked together to burn down the community of black people. 300.
Oh my God.
This is in America, but they don't tell you the story.
I thought the president is not a racist.
Sorry? What did you say?
I thought the president is not.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you had the president tell you about this before?
No.
Aha. So what do you think he's likely? Why, if he's hiding it, what does that make him?
A racist.
Aha. Thank you. That is what you got it. We need these stories to be told because many people are saying, oh, we want America to come. This is what they're doing to black people in America. So if they're doing that to black people in America, what do you think they will do to us in Africa? My brother, what do you think they will do to us?
They will bomb the health of us.
There you go. So we need, this is information that we must share in all African communities. And please, you can see now, they bring the Bible. The Bible, when they put in the Bible before you, they don't let tell you the story. The Bible is a distraction.
Now we are facing a lot of terrorists here, and they give us Bible instead of weapons to fight.
Thank you.
They give us Bible. We should pray that God.
There you go. There you go. But they don't pray when they when they went to that community. They didn't pray. Let me show you what they did. I'm going to read. I'm so glad you joined me because this is a perfect example of why we are doing this program. Because we need African communities to be aware of what those who are coming to tell us they're going to save us, they're going to help our community, what they've done to people that look like you and me in their own communities. That's all we're doing. We're not lying. We're just showing you what they've done. Now, let me show you what they did in particular. I want you to read. I'm going to read something to you, and I want you to listen to it because you would understand that we have to wake up rapidly. Now, the U.S. government, they armed the white deputies. They armed them with weapons. And the people who were in that community were black. They armed the whiteys who are there with weapons to attack the people, the black people in that community. So it says here, mobs of white residents, some of whom have been appointed as deputies, armed with city officials, attacked black residents and destroyed homes and businesses. But they're not telling you this. This is what happened. Do you now recognize this? Do you now see the connection between what is happening with Boko Haram? Because the U.S. funded Boko Haram. They gave them the weapons. The helicopters coming in, dropping weapons to attack the communities. They don't care whether you're Christian or not. They want your land. This is the same thing. Are you seeing the similarity?
What happens here, it seems that the government hands is also included. Like, it looks like a deal.
There's two sides to that story. There's two sides. There is a bit to it. You know Jonathan, Goodluck Jonathan, the former president.
Yeah, Goodluck Jonathan.
He tried to fight back. The U.S. wouldn't sell him weapons because some northern governors had gone to the White House asking for weapons for BK. You see? And the U.S. came with helicopters and gave them those pew-pews and things. So we have to tell that story. This is a very clever ploy. And the U.S. knows that we have resources in our land. They want the resources. They want the lithium. They want the rare earth metals. All of those things. So by causing destruction, they can just take it. Meanwhile, we are busy talking about, oh, it's Christian, it's Muslim. They don't. No, they want to take your land. So it's important to understand that story. They played on our minds. So we need to wake up. But I hear you. But go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. Did you want to say something?
Can we give Awaken a chance to talk also when
Yeah,
he's finished?
He will do. He will do immediately. Thank you. He will do. Thank you, Vanna. Yeah. Why? Go ahead.
Yeah, here, my tribe, we are fighting for Biafra.
I know that. I know. I am fairly aware.
You're an Igbo man, you're Biafra. So they try to bring us together, but it seems that it's not working out because you can't force a particular tribe to be together. Because the way I do things is not the way others do.
Very correct. I agree with you.
Mostly the Southeast, we are Christians, but they are committing genocide. The military of Nigeria is fighting us. If they see us, they harass us, many things. Media is carrying it.
I hear you. Again, I hear what you're saying, and on the face of it, I agree with you. But now that this information that I'm telling you now about the book, how they're funding BK, there is a lot of collusion between the US and the northern leaders in all of this.
Yeah, we know that. That's why we, like my African brothers, we need to put hands together to chase these white people away from Africa because they have done a lot to us. I don't know, many people don't see that, but we see it. But when you speak, they silence you.
And this is
right now, our leader is in detention since how many years now?
I know. I understand. I understand. Yeah, but listen, my brother, I am so glad that we were able to connect. I hope now you can see. I hope you're seeing the US in the light that they're meant to be seen now, so that it's not like they are coming to hell because just what they're doing to the people that look like you and me over there. What do you think they will do to us? So, that's very important to understand. But thank you for chiming in and for making the comment. And I hope you've been able to grasp something from this broadcast. But listen, I'll come back to you. Thank you very much, Wire. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Owaken Mo, thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't come to you earlier. Because I saw what Wire was saying, and I felt that this was a perfect opportunity to explain why we need to know this information, because he was surprised about it. He didn't know it was going to happen that this was happening in the US. And that is exactly why this program tonight has been put up, so that we can know this kind of things. We can be aware of what, Yeah, thank you very much, Vivian V. Yes. May her beautiful mother rest in peace. She must have survived she survived the Tuskegee era. Exactly. So I'm going to pin that. Owaken Mo, you want to say something? Greetings, yeah, please. Thank you for waiting. What would you like to say? Go ahead. Greetings.
What I want to say is that I appreciate what you're doing and the information that you're sharing. What I want to add to that is that we need to go a little bit deeper and ask the question, which I find that a lot of us don't ask the question. We know what's happened, but the question is why? And a lot of us don't know the reason why. And I want to quickly just touch on the reason why this is happening. And it's been happening for a long time. So when you talk about what happened in Tulsa in America, and you link it to what's happening in Africa, and you link it to Congo and different parts of Africa, what we need to understand, and I don't think a lot of melanated people, especially African people, don't know this history. So we are all connected by what we call bloodline. Now, the bloodline of the people in Tulsa and the people in Congo and the people in West Africa and the people in Cameroon, we are all bloodline families. Even though we have now created tribes for ourselves, and we call ourselves Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and all those different people. But there are a lot of us that actually come from one bloodline. Now, if we go back to our ancient lineage, the one lineage that we know that has created and kept the knowledge and data, we all kept data when we're talking about West Africa and these families. I'm going to talk about the bloodline, but the one that stands out is Egypt. Now, if you just go and look at the name of the gods, we talk about Akhenaten and we talk about Tutankhamun. When you look at those names, even though the Western world has bastardized that name, those names comes from the Akan kingdom, that we call Ghana today. If you look at Tutu and if you look at Akan, You know, you get the Okan, so those are family. And then you go to Cameroon and you go to Burkina Faso. This is the reason why he's doing what he's doing today, because he comes from that lineage and that bloodline. But the reason why Burkina Faso is successful, okay, and that president, as we know today, he's very successful. That lineage has kept the records of his bloodline. So what we need to understand, the reason why they're unaliving us and killing us, especially West African, because it's very important. I'm Nigerian. And I think it's very important that we understand this. We are sovereign children. We are royal children. And what has happened throughout the history is that we've gone into sovereignty. We've gone into nationality instead of sovereignty. Now, sovereignty is going to protect us. If we come out of sovereignty as the royal children, the bloodline I've just mentioned, Tutankhamun and all the gods that were in Egypt, and we have to going back to even prior to Egypt, we were all royal families, okay, throughout the continent of the world, not just in West Africa. West Africa are the people who started this concept of royalty. You know, us grew up and our parents would have told us, you come from a royal house, you're royalty. Even though we couldn't physically see it, we all knew that we were royals. You know, my granddad, even though he grew up.
Carry on.
Thank you. Even though his parents, his grandmother was a slave, he created what you call I think it's the seat, the royal seat, you know, and he was a famous sculptor. And when I found out about him, the Western world would say, why did he create the royal seat if he wasn't royal? But he knew he was royal based on the oral tradition that his parents passed down to him. Now, we are in this season and time in this age of Aquarius. The royal children, which are those in West Africa, those are in Americas, those in Cameroon, Burkina Faso, who's led the way to kind of wake us up. We have to be sovereign over nationality. When we are nationality, they're putting us with what we call Slavs. And if we look and study the history of the Atlantic slave trade, they took the royal children and mixed us in with the Slavs. So when we mixed in with the Slavs, we became a national people and they put us under nationality. But we have to take ourselves out of nationality and go back into sovereignty. When we go back into sovereignty, that protection comes and they cannot unalive us. They're unaliving us because the king's children, the pharaoh's children, are forgotten who they are. Okay, remember Tutankhamun and Akhenaten, they were all from that bloodline that we are children of now. You and I, all West African, those from the Americas, those in Cameroon, everyone are bloodlines. And it's our ancestors who created that wonderful civilization of Kush that kept royal lineages and kept our names. So when you talk about there's churches everywhere, it's throughout Africa. What people don't know is church is an actual corporation. It's not a religious institution. It's an actual corporation. That is why there's churches everywhere. It's not a religious institution. It's a corporation. Now, what happens in the church behind the scenes? Behind the scenes, the church keep all the records of all the royal children's names. Okay, and they are able to rule and have authority in these African countries in West Africa, in Cameroon, in Congo, everywhere, because they have the records. Now, what I have been doing, and with my partner, King Lancelot, is that we are trying to let this information out, because when we, as the royal children, declare and trace our genealogy and trace our steps back to who we are, then we'll realize that based on our titles, there's actually jurisdictions that we have that's attached to our royal lineage. And that jurisdiction will remove the invaders that are in our lands. But because we don't know the law that's connected to our royal house and our royal names and our lineage, we are under nationality instead of under sovereignty. And so based on that, when we go under nationality, they can unalive us. But when we move ourselves out of nationality and go into sovereignty, that is when there will be we can see change. Because when we are sovereign, we have laws attached to us. So for example, here in the United Kingdom, if you they say, I now declare my name, and I declare I'm a royal child. I can go, if I had now 100 of us just declare my name and say we are royal children based on doing their searches, we, by law that's written in the Constitution, In 1350, King Edward III said that none but the king's children can sit in the House of Commons. So now we and there's 100 of us could sit in the House of Commons and kick everyone out. But because we don't know our sovereign rights and our sovereign royalty and a sovereign jurisdiction, we are under nationality and not sovereignty. And this is what's happening. This is why they are doing all the wars and everything. So we don't have that time to actually know who we are. Every single West African, every single Caribbean, every single person from the Americas are royal children. We are royals of the pharaohs. We are royals of kings of England. We are royals of African royals. Okay, we are their children. Okay, and until we sit under that sovereignty, okay, they'll be killing us and unaliving us till we are old and grey.
Yeah.
And this is what we call the age of Aquarius. You see, that Bible that you put up there, what the history of the Bible was, that if we know our history, we also are connected to what we call the Jews or Hebrews, okay? It wasn't a name. Again, that wasn't a name. That was connected to our house. If you go and study that, the Hebrew or Jew was connected to our house. And that gave us the authority to maneuver and do trade on waters and land. That's the reason why we were doing trade. That's what a Jew and Hebrew means. It's nothing to do with a religion. It's a title based on how you trade with things. But it's a lot of stuff that we don't understand. But I really want us to, because our ancestors are here right now. They're waking us up and they're waking our DNA. But we have to understand our sovereign right and our sovereign authority. If we move away again out of nationality, then we won't be treated as Slavs. If you go and look at Slavs, these are the people that started trading as slaves, and they put the royal children and attached us to that. And that's why they have the audacity to unalive us and kill us the way they're doing. If now we say that we are royal, we have the jurisdiction.
Please say
unalive them.
Yeah, please unalive, please. Don't use the word because they would flag the broadcast. But carry on. Yeah,
we have the jurisdiction to unalive us. We can unalive them because we have laws for them to not be doing what they're doing.
Fantastic. Wow. I'm so glad. I'm following you already. I'm following you. I would like to actually do a program on this particular topic of sovereignty because it's a particular interest area for me. I have been talking about sovereignty for the people to know the rights within the current structure that we've been placed to actually free us. And that actually ties neatly to the description of sovereignty in the way in which you just described it right now. And it's great knowledge.
Just
great knowledge.
Your tip of the iceberg.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
She's the one that's behind putting the whole program together for Lord Lancelot.
Fantastic.
I have a question.
Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Owakin Mo. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
As West African.
Sorry?
Don't we think if we want to maintain our sovereignty as West African?
Yes. Go ahead.
Don't you think we need a defense for that?
You must mute.
1 second. Where were you? Who's speaking again? Is it Tudor's King?
Yes.
Okay. Right. I was going to bring in somebody to speak, but I'll let just for that. I'll answer this quickly, and I'll go back to Ebi because I think he came before you. But Tudor King, what we do now, you see, if we have any sort of, in my opinion, if we have any sort of weapons right now, our knowledge is what is key. If we don't have the right knowledge, in sufficient numbers of us, I don't think having weapons particularly is where we need to start. In fact, I think it can be said that knowledge itself is a weapon. If you see what I mean. When you have the right knowledge, you can spot all of their tricks from a mile off. And that can be considered a weapon above what they have. And like Owakin Mo said, once we understand and be able to claim that sovereignty, it will put a stop to the unaliving and things that they're doing to us. So the knowledge is where we start. And oftentimes, when we are looking for this thing of, I want to get weapons and everything else, it actually is a perfect distraction for them because they know that whilst you're doing that, you're not doing what Owakin Mo just said just now, which is that we need to step out of that nationality into sovereignty, but it requires knowledge. So
Yes,
I
sir.
am not rubbishing. I'm not rubbishing that we need equipment to arm ourselves and protect ourselves. But the knowledge is actually the best protection, because that knowledge, once you have the knowledge, the steps you need to take to protect yourself naturally actually takes place, because it's a psychological, spiritual process combined with your physical, all coming into fruition. So I hope that makes
And
sense.
I just want to,
Go ahead.
I just want to add to what you're saying, King. That's exactly right. You see, our ancestors are already in charge. They're more powerful than any weapons, all the weapons that they have made, put together. One of our ancestors is more powerful than that, because they have all the plans. They know everything, but because we do not get in contact with them, because they've given us a God outside of us, and we keep giving that God praise instead of just giving thanks and for the victory. We already have the victory once we get to know ourselves, and that entitles going through your genetic, and we have a program for that also, that you can research and find out who you come from. When Awaken says the house, she's talking about the crown.
Exactly.
The royal family that you came from. And that royal family is what all our wealth is stored up, based on us receiving that wealth that has been given to us, which is a law. All that depends on us getting to know who we are, which house we came from, or which crown or family we came from, and then proclaiming that we are the children. Once we have a petition, once you sign that petition, you have announced that you are the children of the King. It's already laid out there for over 8,000, almost 8,000 years, for us to be in a position that we can once again come on top. Everything, and the thing about it is that no physical man-made weapon is more powerful than the power of that's within us.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you so much, Vaname. Thank you. Let me add something. I'll add something. I've noticed many people may not know this. I'll give you an example. In some African, and it's not just in Nigeria, in a number of, I've noticed something about bees. The ability to communicate with the bees and actually use them as a weapon to defend oneself is something that is very, very strong in African culture. I've seen them in Yoruba culture. I've seen them in the East Africa. I've seen them in South Africa. I've seen them all over Africa in places. And it is the ability to get the bees to defend you by attacking those that actually comes to you with whatever weapons they have. So that right there, that's just one example of what the spiritual level, but it all comes from being awakened. It comes from being in that awakened being, whereby your connection with the earth and you are one. And then what you do from there is no force powerful than earth. None. There is no force powerful than earth. None. And when you are able to tap into that, you don't need any building of any weapon. You don't need all that. That is what we are talking about. But I know it sounds very, very deep, but just take it as, for now, we need to first know knowledge. Our knowledge base has to start. That's where we start from. Once we start putting the knowledge together and we add to that, in that knowledge, get the sovereignty, then we are taking back control as it should be. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep into it, but we would have to come back to this. Let me go to Ebby. Thank you very much for waiting, Ebby. What would you like to say? You've been waiting there. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Hello. Thank you, Citizen AY, for having me.
You're very welcome. Go ahead.
I just want to start from the Tulsa and Oklahoma that they burnt down because of the progress that the Black people were making at that time, as far back as 1920s. And going with that, in line with the Kissinger's report, if anybody here has read it.
Yes, yes.
And coming to the point that Trump wants to help Christians in Nigeria, that brings me to my marriage, because some Nigerians are encouraging it, they are sharing it. This is the people, these are the same people that went to Libya and, destroyed Libya. Destroyed Libya, burnt Libya to stone ages. They went there to save the Libyans. And at the end of the day, they unalived Gaddafi. What is happening in Libya today?
Oh.
We are seeing the disaster they created in Libya. But we Nigerians, I know we are going through a lot in Nigeria. That is a fact that cannot be ruled out. That is very true.
Yes.
But you having to encourage these same people that caused this destruction in Libya, you go to Somalia, you go to Sudan, you go to Syria. These are the same people that put a bounty on the current president of Syria. And at the end of the day, they made him a president in Syria. And these people are coming to give you freedom in Nigeria. Going with what they are doing in Gaza, are Christians not part of what they are doing in Gaza? The G they are committing in Gaza, are Christians not part of it? So what makes you think that if they can do this to people that have almost similar color to them, they will come and give you freedom in Nigeria? They will come and save you in Nigeria. What happened in Afghanistan, Iraq? They lied to us that Saddam had weapons of mass destruction. And at the end of the day, they took out Saddam. What is the state of Iraq today? What happened in Afghanistan? Overnight, these people, left their weapons behind in Afghanistan. Because Afghanistan, they had to stand up for themselves. And these are the people coming to Nigeria to give Christians in Nigeria freedom. You want to bomb Venezuela. We know Venezuela is sitting on, a very a huge amount of oil.
Exactly.
And we know your oil reserve is depleted right now. And you want to replenish it. You want to go to Venezuela, claiming you want to fight the drug cartel. I listened to Rand Paul some days ago. He was talking about Venezuela, that he does not know why his government wants to invade Venezuela, because Venezuela does not produce a single fentanyl in Venezuela. So why do you want to invade Venezuela? Yes, you are claiming Maduro is a dictator. The man you want to impose on Venezuelans, who voted him? Who voted him? Gorbachev was his name, the man before Maduro. This man nationalized his oil and, created wealth for his country.
Yeah.
You impose sanctions, all manner of sanctions on Venezuela.
Yeah. You're talking about Chavez. You're talking about President Chavez before Maduro, right?
That's great. Yes, Chavez before Maduro.
Yeah, great.
You impose all manner of sanctions on these people. Today, you want to take out Maduro because you want to save Venezuelans. Drug cartels are there. You want to fight them. Why don't you deal with the cartels in your country? Look at Mexico. Why don't you do it in Mexico? Venezuela does not produce a single fentanyl there. But now you want to come to Nigeria to save Nigerian Christians. In 2015, when the Chibok girls were kidnapped, Jonathan went to the White House, but they refused to meet with Jonathan. They never assisted Jonathan in any way, shape, or form to fight and bring back the Chibok girls. But Obama's wife was quick to raise a placard, calling for the bringing back of our girls. These are the same people that want to come and save you. From what Al Mustafa, the former deputy of Abacha, was saying the other time, he said, what started Boko Haram in Borno? That go to Borno today. Houses are so expensive there, and when these NGOs come, no matter the amount you call for them for accommodation there, they pay you, and they pay you upward of about 10 years. How did they know they were going to spend 10 years in that place? They pay you any amount you ask for.
Wow.
That, you know, in Borno, there is a mineral they call, rare earth they call California, that a gram of it is about 28 million. And these people are constantly, that even the NGO, they will go there at the few hours in the morning when you cannot even enter there. They will go there, drop huge sacks of money, and come out with a small bag. These are the people that want to come and give you freedom in Nigeria. They want to save Nigerian Christians, and Nigerians are cheering it. These people hate the development of Africa. Like they said, they don't want Africa to be industrialized. So whatever they can do, they will do it to make sure you don't industrialize. Trump is coming to save Nigerian, to deliver Nigerian Christians. But they hired the mercenaries during Jonathan era to fight this Boko Haram. But Obama was quick to call them to terminate their contracts and call Jonathan to concede to Buhari. Who were the people? Buhari was the same person that said if Jonathan wins this election, that baboons will be soaking blood.
And he had to give up. And he had to give up because of that.
He has to give up to concede to Buhari. You are coming to save Nigerian Christians. On how? I don't understand. I don't really understand this. For Nigerians encouraging these people to come and invade Nigeria, I start to look at it from the angle of Dangote refinery. Because if they come, these people don't like any good thing to happen in Africa. They will start by bombing that refinery.
Yes.
They will destroy all infrastructures in Nigeria. They went to see Libyans, but they bombed their waterway that Gaddafi created that was giving them water.
Exactly.
You went to save these people, but you bomb where they get their drinking water from. And you went to save them. You want to save Nigerian Christians.
No, that's a lie.
Nigeria has oil. US does not have it right now. And they are coming to save you, and you don't see anything wrong with that. You don't read in between the lines. These people use the same playbook every time, and Nigerians have refused to wake up to the realization that these people does not mean well for them. Kissinger report said the wealth of Nigeria should not benefit Nigerians in any way.
Fact, I can confirm that. That's true. That is so true. I'll dig it out. You're right. Go ahead, carry on.
And you want them to come to Nigeria to save you when they said your wealth should not develop your country, that the wealth is meant for the Western world. They have entitlements, they have the rights over the wealth in your country that shouldn't benefit you, but it should benefit them. You should build factories and everything in their country. They will take mineral resources for peanuts, they will go refine it there, bring it back to us, and sell it to us at exorbitant prices. And these people want to come and save Nigerian Christians? I know we are going a lot, but the help we want shouldn't come from these people because they are the ones that created the problem. Firstly, they were the ones that created the problem. These people formed the BK people through the USAID. They were funding them. They keep funding them. And you want the people that are funding these people to come and fight the people they are funding? How does that make sense? Nigerians should wake up. Yes, Boko Haram is doing what they are doing in Nigeria. We are going through a lot, but help cannot come from the people that created the problem. Help cannot come from the people that are funding and protecting these people. Our help shouldn't come from America because they have none to do. Thank you so very much.
Wow. Round of applause to Abby. I'm following you. I think I'm going to make sure. Yeah, I'm following you already. Wow. A round of applause again. You hit the nail on everything you said. And I hope many people are keen into what you just said. Everything you said there. There is not one shred of lie in what you said. Everything that you touched on, from the Kissinger report to what they did to Goodluck Jonathan, to the Obama, to Gaddafi. Right now, what they have done to Libya has now made it to such a situation where Black Africans are being enslaved in Libya all over again. That's because of the damage that they've done. But nobody wants to talk about these things. And we need to speak about it. This is why we have to wake up.
And unaliven.
And unaliven. So we need to really, be aware and be very careful. We do not want any help. The people who are part of the problem, you said, cannot be part of the solution. The US is part of the problem, and they can never in a billion years be part of the solution. They can't. So we have to be very clear, and that is why we are bringing information like as we're doing now, to make the people know what they do to black people in the United States itself. If they do that to black people in the United States, what do you think they are going to do to Africans on the African continent? That is the fact. We have to solve our own problems ourselves, Dre. We solve our own problems ourselves. Let me see. I'll just quickly crack on. Tudor King, you wanted to say something quickly, I believe, before I bring somebody else on. What was it? Go ahead.
Yes, I will say something. Thank God for EB. EB made a very good point, but I have some things to say.
Go ahead.
There are some people in this same Africa that have seen what the white people we are planning to do long before time. There's one problem we have. I'm a pure African guy, and I'm aged enough to know, and I've read a lot of histories. Everything she said is true, and I know what you're fighting for. I'm fighting for the same thing. But there is a problem we have within our house. The problem we have within our house is that some people want to marginalize some. We have not seen ourselves as equal, because if your house is not fixed, you can never fight outside, my brother.
I understand.
There is no way.
Understood.
If you don't fix your house, you can fight outside.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
I know what, and when you come outside, these white bunnies are different, with different mentality. You understand? Okay, now, when we look inwardly of what is going on, there are some people that saw what these people are planning in the 1960s. And some group of people signed a pact with the Britain to fight. Okay, now, if we want to start, I don't want to go around and talk about the problem. I want to address a solution.
Okay.
Because there's something about me. I want a solution.
Okay, what would you like? What's the solution?
Out of Africa, I don't like people looking at me as a third-class citizen in the world. I swear it hurts me personally because I have ego. I don't even think twice to tell someone I'm from Africa. I don't think twice to promote Africa in any way I've gone. You understand? Like, I have this pride in me that I'm from Africa and it's a beautiful place. You understand? But when someone looks down on me, it hurts me. What I'm trying to say, I want to propose a solution because what EB said is true. But how are we going to address it? When we start addressing it is when we start seeing ourselves as equal and start loving ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know Dangote has a refinery, but on the second thought, that refinery should be nationalized.
I agree with you.
You understand? Listen, it should be nationalized, my brother. I know I have been in America. I know how things are being run here. Yeah, I've been in China. I know how things are being run there. You can start up a government. The government, the banks will give you money. Once it gets to the PO level, the government takes it from you and now makes you the face of the company, gives you everything you want, and the whole population takes care of that company. What about, say, TikTok? Someone created TikTok, but China is stepping in to say it's their own. But it's never China that produced it. It's one single man.
Very good point.
Try to get what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is that I know we have internal wars. We should start addressing it. Our leaders is the problem. Incorporate people. Don't make people feel outside your government. Make them feel part of it. Then when they feel part of it, then they will bring out their innovations. Okay, see what Ibrahim Traore did. That is why, you see that man, whenever my eyes set on Ibrahim Traore, I'll kiss his feet.
Mm-hmm.
You see the Malian president, I'll do. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so humble that I'll kiss their feet because they understood. Someone was like, Saudi Arabia was like, okay, I'll give you millions of dollars. Let me build more. You know what he said? He told him, I don't need more. We have enough. I need schools.
Mm-hmm.
He went on in his country and told that if I see religious bigotry among you, you will go to praise the Christians and the Muslims should worship in the same place and tradition.
Mm-hmm.
That is seeing people as equal.
Well said. Well
You
said.
understand?
Yeah.
There is no one. I know what my sister said. I welcome the lady. I followed her recently. She said that we should recognize ourselves. We should recognize our reality, move
Yes.
from nationality to sovereignty. If we are moving from there, it's when we recognize who we are, what bonds us together. Recognize that your fellow black. See, when you go outside here, these people have tribals as we have. In Canada, we have Aboriginal, we have the First Nations, we have the everything. Different people. They will tell me how the Europeans invaded them. Do you know that the Europeans invaded Canada? The Aboriginals, they killed them. They gave them clothes with what is it called, disease. If they tie the wrapper on their body, they start
use the
dying.
word unalive, please. Don't use it. Yeah.
Sorry. Or they unalive them. I'm sitting with one of them and he talked to me that the Europeans killed unalived a lot of them. But do you know what they did on how they tried to come out of those things? Because they started recognizing that the people in BC is different from the people in Calgary. They start to understand themselves, know that there is no more division among themselves, and they became equal. And that is how they came out of it. They are even coming out of it recently, not up to 30 years ago. I'm telling you the truth. Because I'm there, I saw it.
Yeah.
And they speak a different language. They even have a colored skin like African, like fair, a little bit fair, not just like pure white. You understand? What I'm trying to say is when we go inwardly, we should address our problem. They fought between themselves, but they started addressing those fights.
Yes.
Let us address the fights. If we know where we have went to war in West Africa, let us build a monument, call all of us and be like, oh, we are sorry we did this. We bring a flower and keep it. That monument will become a symbol of everlasting peace.
Good. I agree. My brother Tudo, thank you so much for this suggestion, and it is welcome.
It will be a symbol of everlasting peace. So whenever our children grow up, they will come to that monument and see, we fought with this tribe, we fought this, but this is where we resolve the matter. Russia is doing it.
Exactly.
Americans are doing it. Chinese are doing it. That is the symbol of that unity. Our president will come. Yes, we fought our differences. In-house we fight, but we have resolved it. The world will become envious because we have understood that we are the same. We understood the love that ties us together. I don't see why someone that will be in the bush that is almost 30 kilometers away from me will become my enemy. And someone outside the continent will become my friend. I know what Americans are doing, but why people are calling them to come is because some group of people have refused to understand that we are the same.
Yeah.
Some group of people have refused to know what bonds us together.
Yeah.
They have refused to know, because if you know that we are the same and we love each other, we should put the right leader that will represent us. See what is happening in Venezuela. I studied what is happening there. All their citizens came out with guns ablazing. What? In Nigeria now, some people want Trump to come because they are sad. And you don't blame that man. Don't blame him, because since he has been there, he doesn't have free health care. His tuition, he paid it himself. The government has never benefited him up till now. What do you want him to do? He'll be agitating. I know this is planned ab initio, the way Britain did it. But our leader is supposed to start spoiling it like Ibrahim Traore did. Immediately Ibrahim Traore entered the government, he flipped it. He turned the flip. He flipped it and said, okay, my citizens, take this. He didn't even care about himself. Immediately he did that, his whole citizens were backing him. People are sleeping in front of his house.
Yeah.
If our leaders want us to love us, they will come out to them and tell you, okay, see, Chevron, go away.
Yeah.
All these countries go away. All these things, do this, turn the flip. And was like, you see how everybody will come in and hug you and love you, because you're now, in fact, some people will go hungry and fight for you. They won't even care because they believe that they are doing it for their leader.
Yeah.
But
only for time purposes, Tudo King.
I mean, money.
Tudo King, I hear you, and I really like the idea. I just that I've got quite a few people who want to come on. I've had to hold back. I wanted to give you time.
Sorry. Okay, yeah.
But I hear you.
Can I say something real fast,
Yeah,
please?
go ahead. Go ahead quickly. Go ahead.
King Tudor, when you say, look, it's not just the leaders. See, Traore would not be so successful if the people were not involved. Understand what I'm saying? See, they're working with him. See, we are allowing the leaders to do all these bad things. They have a camp. Your president in Nigeria has a what is that camp that the French are running? A terrorist camp.
Yeah.
They know about that. It's right there in Nigeria, and the whole reason why Trump is doing this is to keep us distracted as they attack Burkina Faso and those other two countries. Don't you see? It's just a big distraction. The French have a camp in Nigeria. Okay?
Yeah.
The Boko Haram camp is in Nigeria, and they're torturing people there. Do we know that?
Yeah.
And the fact that
I know about it, but I want the solution.
No, but the solution is not blaming the solution. To start the solution, we have to start inside ourselves. Love ourselves, and then we can love others that look like us. Get to know ourselves. Consider ourselves to be royal people. All the originator, the true power here on earth. You know, and start giving yourself credit for that. That when you give yourself credit and when you love yourself, you're also saying to the ancestors, I love you. Thank you. And this is how we win. We have the victory already, but we're so busy looking outside of ourselves. We have all the victory in us. If we would turn inside and start saying, for myself, I love being Black. I love being, and I love those that are also like me. Before you start loving anyone else, and don't wait for no one else to save you. Begin to love yourself, and then you can that love will go because you're walking now with the ancestors. This is how we have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no solution why we keep talking about it's the leader. Excuse me for talking so loud, please. Okay. I'm not shouting.
That's
What I'm trying to say is that we have to start looking at ourselves and say, okay, what can I do? What can I do to save this situation? Okay. This is all just a big distraction. You know, they just brought down a helicopter filled with terrorists headed for Burkina Faso while we're being distracted.
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. Well said, Vaname.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Go ahead. Quick. Okay. You go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you, Tudor King, and thank you, Vaname. Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I can go ahead.
And I love what people were saying when Tudor said solution, because that is exactly what I was saying. Because it's good that we know the information of what's going on in the world, and I love what Citizens that you're doing, and you're providing that information. So I loved what you said earlier on. You said spiritual, then you said physical, and then you said mental, and I put it down in the chat.
Okay.
And that's the three-way point we have to think about. When you say what is the solution, and I mentioned earlier on that coming away from nationality to sovereignty, there is money attached to our titles as well. Each person, when we know our royal title, we're supposed to be getting 31 million every year.
Wow.
Now, the money that's sitting in the banks, they can't spend the money, but they loan on our money. Now, where's the money coming from? The money's coming from money that was going back into ancient times. Our ancestors used to walk around with gold. Okay, gold to us was like the Bible says, it was streets paved with gold. Literally, that's what it was. We're talking about, we've been here for a very long time. Obviously, in this Western world, they're trying to make it like we're modern people and forget that we still have minerals under the ground.
Yes.
Now, I also want to say that the minerals that people think that they're fighting for is not underground. The minerals and the oil and the gold they're fighting for is us, the king's children. This is the reason why they will unalive us. We are the ones that hold the power in this realm. We hold the power based on our titles that was left to us by our ancestors.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
Now, when Citizens said spiritual, that's the part we have to remember, that we are reincarnated people. Okay, so we are also attached to our bloodline DNA. with our
Okay.
ancestors. And you
Okay.
have to remember the pharaohs were gods.
One
Okay,
second,
so
one
if we,
second, one second. Vaname, can I drop you and bring you up because they've told me to remove you for now, or they'll bring the thing down. I'm sorry. Can I drop you and bring you back in later, Vaname? Because if I don't, they will drop this broadcast. I've just been given a warning that I have to remove Vaname. I just can't believe this. I can't believe it. Vaname, are you there? Vaname? Okay. I'll have to drop you for now and I will bring you back, okay? Let me just see. Give me 10 minutes and I'll bring you back. Okay, Vaname, I'm going to disconnect now, but I'll bring you back. Okay. So, okay, we can go ahead. I'm going to speak to Vaname because they just sent me a warning that, if I don't, they will just bring it down. We're hitting some nerves, obviously. Go
okay,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, definitely. When we talk about the supernatural parts of it,
Go
we're
ahead.
talking about, we are the same people when we're talking about our DNA, so this is how we used to rule and our ancestors used to rule in times. It was all about the bloodline. So if our ancestors were pharaohs, which means that they were gods, that means their children that comes out of them are also gods, okay? And so those titles that the pharaohs had, that means we also have those titles. So the minerals, the gold, the treasure is us, the people, not what is underground. Yes, the land is important, but if we actually know that we are the ones that create the wealth, it's based on our inheritance that's sitting in the bank. And this is why they can fund the war, they can fund everything. They're using our titles and they're using the money that we are not tapping into. And I mentioned earlier on, the titles are attached to our money in the bank, 31 million. So if we all have a heart to help our people, if we tap into that wealth that's sitting for us, that's based on your bloodline, then we can literally fix the thing and we can kick these people out. And that's the information they don't want us to know.
Exactly.
And it's very important. That's how we can fix it, because we need money, we need wealth, but we do have wealth. It's just that we don't know who we are. We are royal children from West Africa, from the Cameroons, from Congo, from the Caribbeans, from the Americas, okay? Tutankhamun, okay? All these pharaohs were all connected and they traveled to Great Britain, they traveled to the Americas. And we all know we're royal. We feel it in our DNA.
Yeah.
And I just think it's just that time that we need to stop pretending and actually stand up to who we truly are, because until we do it, they're going to keep unaliving us and our children's children.
Indeed.
So that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Thank you. Owaken. I'm going to come back to you again. Assalamu alaikum, Isa. 1 second, please. So, 1 second. Okay, go ahead, Isa. You can. Isa, welcome. Good evening. Greetings. What would you like to say? Welcome. Go ahead. What would you like to say? Isa, you there? Isa, do you want to say something? Isa, are you there? Okay. I am going to mute you. Okay. We're going to pause for a bit. I just want to crack on with showing you this information, but very, very powerful comments made by Owaken right there. Awaken more. It is so important that we now start really reconnecting to our true essence, and knowing all of this information about connecting to our sovereignty, and thereby unlocking the access to funds that we will need to really right the wrongs that has been happening repeatedly. If you notice, it is about information, and we're learning all the time here. We're learning all the time. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next to Mark Foley, and he passed away. He is the real money that massacred. Okay, anyway. So it's very, very important that we continue to grow and learn. The best thing we can do is to equip ourselves with knowledge of self, deep knowledge of self, begin to grow. But let's, I'm going to just quickly put this forward again, to move this forward into the topic that I brought. But everything that has been said is all tied to this. We have to understand that it's all connected. But the reason I'm really intent on going ahead with bringing these facts that has been hidden to us is that without knowing what they're doing and what they've done to people within America, we will believe whatever they tell us, and we will continue to fall in the same loop. It's like a looped system. Every time when they see that we're getting close, they'll put something and then we're back into it again. We're back into it again. We're back into it again. And what we need to do is to break that so that there is no loop. We want to dismantle that loop so that whatever they try, we are up to it. Spiritually, mentally, physically, we are up. We're ready, and we can actually confront them and take back control. We must do that, particularly on the African continent. But like I said, and like Owakin was saying, in Aboriginal America and Haiti and all the places that have been taken away, we must do that. So let me just quickly make a little bit of headway on this. I'm going to, for others, you can read more on the Tulsa. I'm going to read the next one. Let me go to the next one, if I can find that. I want to read, because there's quite a few. So we read Rosewood was the first one, wasn't it? Yes, it was Tulsa. Now, the next one, because we need to know these things, because that way we can start challenging, because now we need to get into the mind asking questions of those who come to us and tell us they're giving us heaven and earth. We need to ask them questions. And once you know the history, they will not even, once you know these things about them, you can spot them from a mile off, and you can neutralize whatever they want to do within your own community. And this is really important. So Rosewood, Florida, 1923. That happened in 1921. In 1923, barely 2 years, a white mob inflamed by a white woman's false accusations of assault by a black man attacked and burned the entire black town of Rosewood to the ground. Residents were permanently driven out, and many hid in swamps to escape the violence. Let's go and look at Rosewood, shall we? We need to do this consistently. We need for this to wake up, because when somebody is coming from a place and they're telling us this is what we will do for you, we will do that for you, and you don't know anything about them, you are going to believe them. We need to stop being in that mindset. We need clarity, and knowledge gives you clarity. Knowledge gives you clarity. Knowledge gives you clarity. Let's proceed. Rosewood. Okay? So we're going to read about that. Rosewood. Rosewood community. Let me see if it comes up. I think it is Rosewood community. I'll see if I can find it. Beg your pardon. Okay. No, that's I want to find the actual, Rosewood, Florida. Okay, Rosewood community, 1923. Okay, let me just I'm trying to just give you, we need to know this because so many things have been done. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now, so these are information that every African community must know. For so long, if you notice, why is it that the Bible and the Quran are so easy for to flood into our communities? But this kind of information, we have to dig. You have to be searching. We have to go and dig deep down to find it. And even when to get it out is a major problem. But the Bible and the Quran flood the entire African continent. That is what we are really talking about here. We need to be sharing that information. So Rosewood, the second one, says here, a part of a mass racial violence in the United States in nadir of American race relations. The remains of Sarah Carrier's house, where two blacks and two whites were killed in Rosewood, were unalive, sorry, January 1923. Okay, so location. Rosewood massacre was, again, racially motivated massacre of black people with the destruction of a black town that took place during the first week of January 1923. We need to know this kind of information. Please, we have to all be aware. We need to be able to acquire this kind of knowledge so that it informs our decisions of who we're going to interact with particularly in Africa. The US, that claims to be a democratic nation, you can see just two towns we're looking at. The most undemocratic, the most unjust, the heinous unaliving of people, lynching, all of that. These are things that we really need our people to be aware of. This goes beyond even the leaders knowing it. The communities, African communities must be aware. And I want this to be even in local languages. We should be telling this story in our local languages so that the people know when they see. Because when the image that the Bible has put, those who put themselves in the Bible, because they put themselves in the Bible, they did. That's one of the reasons why I think Vanna Mae was, they told me to put her out. I don't want to, but we'll come back to it. Those who tell you this glorious story of themselves, but look at the reality. The story they told about themselves that puts them in that Bible and is all glory and everything else, but the reality of what they're doing, they hid it. So we need this information to go far and wide. Let's carry on. So Rosewood Massacre was racially motivated black people and the destruction of Blacktown during the first week of January 1923. Sorry, I've gone too far. In the rural Levittown, County, Florida, at least 6 black people were unalived, but eyewitness accounts suggest a higher toll, 27 to 150. In addition, 2 white people were unalived in self-defense by one of the victims. Okay, in self-defense. So people fought back. Okay. Let's go ahead. In addition, the town of Rosewood was destroyed in what contemporary new reports characterized as a race riot. So race riot in broader context, racism in the United States, mass racial violence in the United States consists of ethnic conflicts and race riots along with such events as racially targeted attacks against African Americans by white Americans, which took place before the America we now know. Anyway, I'm just giving you a brief rundown. Now, Florida has an especially high number of lynchings of black men in the years before the massacre. These are the things we need to know. Many of us want to go to America, but we don't know this. Lynchings of black people. This is records. This is not hearsay. And we have to make sure this knowledge cascades into every community in local languages. I've said that in Yoruba now, and it can be said in Igbo. We need this kind of information so that people, when people are leaving to go to these places, they are leaving to go to these places from Africa because of what they've heard in the Bible, in whatever else, the stories have told about it. But the ugly truth has been well hidden. When people know this story about Florida, that lynchings took place, how many people will volunteer to go there? They won't. It's simply because that information has not been made available. So we need to do a lot of work on that. But let's carry on. I'm just, it's very important. Hang on, what is it now? Okay. So you can see it there, and including lynchings and Charles Strong and the Perry Massacre in 1922. Before the massacre, the town of Rosewood had been a quiet, primarily black, self-sufficient. Listen to that word, self-sufficient. So there is no reason. This is a town that is totally self-sufficient. There was no justification whatever to go in, and do that and destroy it. Afro-B, we fix Nigeria by knowing that those who are saying they want to help us, we have to know what they've done in their own community. If they are doing this to black people in their community, we don't want their help. That's number one. If the US is doing this, what they are doing, which is evidence, they're doing this to their community, in America to black communities. We don't want their help because we are black as well. That is what they're going to do to us, and that is the point I am making. You notice I'm not talking about bigotry or anything. I am talking about an actual event. And then I'm talking to you in that sense. Of course, as I'm reading this, I'm enraged. I am enraged. I am in rage mentally, but I have to focus on what is the goal instead of allowing the rage to burn me, to push me. You know, so we have to be very, very clear. Is to enlighten. With knowledge, you gain clarity. With clarity, you are almost undefeatable. With knowledge, you gain clarity. With clarity, it's difficult to defeat you because you see it all. And that is why knowledge is so key. This is designed to keep you in the dark, to keep your mind and your mind from knowing the fact. It's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. Okay, now, so you can see before the market, Rosewood had been acquired, primarily black, self-sufficient, whistle stop on the Seaboard Airline Railway. Trouble began when white men from several nearby towns lynched a black Rosewood resident. They lynched. That means setting a black man on fire. These are the same people that are bringing Bible to your communities. That's the reality of what I want you to understand. Exactly. Well, we shouldn't be taking anything from America. But what I'm saying is you need this information, because if you don't know this, you will be thinking that America is a great savior because of what the stories and the lies they told you. This is the reality. They set people that look like you and me on fire. We need to understand that. They set people that look like you and me on fire. And if I wonder if I can find a picture of that one. Okay. So that's in 1922. Let me see if I can find, there's a picture that I think, hang on. Let me see if I can find out. Is that it? No, that's a sea railroad. Okay, but I'll come back anyway. But you can get the picture of what I'm saying. So, so trouble began when white men from several nearby towns linked a black resident because accusation that a white woman in nearby Sumner had been assaulted by a black drifter. Can you see again? In Tulsa, a young boy assaulted a girl. So they started. Again here, a black man was allegedly assaulted a white woman. So they destroy. It's all about pretense. It's all about setting a scenario. It's all about, we need to be very clear. If we're going to solve this problem, we need to understand those who are coming to do destruction on our soil inside out. And we start by sharing the knowledge. You know? Yes, exactly. They love spreading propaganda as the saviors while they have genocidal agenda. Exactly. Saka Shogun. Let me bring you up, and you can. I like that. That what you said there. Something. It resonates with me. Okay, maybe you join. But if you do anyone wants to join, throw me an invite, and I will add you. But like I said, we're just reading all this. This is Rosewood, 1922. So this is, it's barely 2 years after, I think, the 21, they unalived in Tulsa, 22. You know, we're here now. So let's read on again. I'll read this a bit more. Now, okay. So, and then a mob of several hundred. Can you see? A mob of, so they planned it. Again, the government had a hand in this. This is not just a community alone. It's very important to understand. Every unaliving that you see in this is orchestrated. It is planned. It is clinical. It is insanely clinical. And we need to understand that when somebody comes and they're smiling and they bring the Bible, and it's all nice. It is important that to understand that they have an agenda, like somebody said just now, as Shaka Shogun said, you know, that they have an agenda. We need to understand that. And unless we start researching what they've done to people that look like us in their own land in the US, we will not know the real facts. We will continue to believe the lies, and we'll continue to allow ourselves to be exploited on the African continent. Now, let's carry on. So, where is it again? So white men, hunting black people, burned almost every structure. They burned almost every structure in a self-sufficient community. You say again, in Tulsa, it was self-sufficient. In Rosewood, self-sufficient. They burned it down. So I hope you are beginning to see, I hope we are beginning to see that all of this is pointing to one thing. The agenda remains the same, be it in America or in Africa. When it comes to melanated people, the agenda by those who are coming into our communities and taking it over is to destroy whatever we have. Take it over. And that's unless we have to tell and teach our children, our coming generations about this. Because this information, without this information, they will continue to leave their door open. We have to keep our door shut from things like this. And we have to do a deep re-engineering of our society. We have to. So I'm sorry about that. Others, I'll come back again. I know others have dropped out. I'll bring you back up. But let me crack off a little bit. So listen to this. On top of destroying it, for several days, survivors from the town hid in nearby swamps. So survivors in their own community, the state government, the US government did nothing to protect those in the community. They had to go and hide in a swamp. Please tell me again, as Africans, when they're doing this to people that look like you and me in the US, what do you think they will do to you when they come to Africa? Or to Guyana, or to wherever? If they are doing this to people that look like you and me and destroying a viable community that's thriving, self-sufficient, it means they do not want to see the success of people that look like you and me. We need to think about this deeply, and we need to share this on all African, same Afroasiatic nomad. Sandy, well said, Sandy. I agree with you. So, and those of you who are on YouTube, please continue to give us a thumbs up. I appreciate you. I'm trying to give as much information. You can hear the words. You won't be able to see the pictures because you can only see the pictures on TikTok. But you can hear the words, and we're talking about the destruction of Black Aboriginal American communities by white supremacy groups and whiteys, because they are envious of the success of those communities, and that is the reality. So if they're envious of the success of the communities, do you not think they'll be envious of the fact that we have resources in our land that they don't have? And you bring them into your community? Hi, Farida, how are you doing? Yes, hi, Farida, it's good to speak to you. Yes. So we are bringing a lot of this information. Please tap on the screen and share. Let's try and get to 50,000 likes tonight. I'd really love that if we could. It'd be fantastic. And we welcome gifts. And please give us a thumbs up as you're watching us on YouTube. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So on top of unaliving the people, for several days, survivors from the town hid in several swamps until they were evacuated to larger towns by train and car. No arrests were made for what happened to Rosewood. The town was abandoned by its former Black and white residents. None of them ever moved back to the town, and the town ceased to exist. The town still ceased to exist. Yeah, thank you very much, Vaname. Yeah, because they tried to bring it down. Yeah, thank you very much. So Morocco, greetings, Farida. We're talking about the need for Africans to be aware of what US have done to Black communities in America. and we should use that to judge how they are likely to treat us Africans on the African continent. No lies told. We're not telling lies. We are just going by what the actions of the white people in those communities. That's all we're going in. Fight after Sarah Moko versus Algeria peace. Okay. Okay, yes, of course. We will talk about that later on, Farida. I will come back. We'll have to do another show on that. But let me go here first. Okay, now, although the writing was widely reported around the United States at the time, a few official records documented the event. The survivors, the descendants, and the perpetrators all remained silent about Rosewood for decades. 60 years after the rioting, the story of Rosewood was revived by major media outlets when several journalists covered it in the early 1980s. The survivors and their descendants all organized an attempt to sue the state for failing to protect Rosewood black community. So if a government fails to protect the black community, do you think they will come and protect an African community? Do you think that government cares about you being a Christian, African Christian, if they are not protecting a black in America? Do you think so? Do you think so? These are the kind of things we need to be asking ourselves, these fundamental, deep questions. It's very, very, very important that we begin to ask those questions. Okay, so let me read on again. The Florida Legislature commissioned a report on the incident. As a result of the findings, Florida compensated survivors and their descendants for damages which they incurred because of racial violence. The incident was subject of a 1997 feature film. Okay, they did a film about it, and it was by John Singleton. Oh, God, which is this guy here. Good work. I'm glad that he did that. So we need to document this kind of things, and we mustn't forget it. But these are the kind of, you see, you have to go and dig, and this should be in history books, you know. This should be in something that we should all be able to have access to, so that we know when somebody comes and says they want to help, we know their antecedent. We need to know what the type of behavior they will display. But you can see that they hide all of this massacre and lynching, unaliving of black people. It's all hidden. And we believe it. So in Africa, it is a must that this knowledge is shared right across, you know? Oh, I know, Ebi. Oh, yes. I'll bring you back, and I'll see if I can, multi-guest. Wow. Yeah. You can talk about, we can talk about that as well. So much. Dr. Arikana Chomberkwao mentioned that as well, that the wealth that they used, they used the wealth to build the whole of Europe. Ebi, welcome back. Yeah, let's hear from you. Yes, talk about that, please.
Yeah, thank you for having me back.
Yeah,
I was replying to a comment.
Okay.
I was replying to a comment on the comment section, asking why Nigeria still take money from the US.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to reply to him that Nigeria, okay, you are claiming Nigeria is taking money from the US. Yes, that is not disputed. But do you know how much resources they steal from Nigeria?
Thank you.
And give you peanuts in return.
Thank you.
And do you know how much of Nigerian resources that was used to rebuild Europe after the Second World War? Coming here to ask me why we take money, why Nigeria take money from the US.
Yeah, it's
part of the money they are giving to Boko Haram as well to carry out the genocide they are committing in Nigeria.
Fantastic
Or
work.
you think they don't have a hand in it?
Yes.
Because they are coming to save you? They cannot save you.
No.
The cause of your problem cannot be the solution to your problem.
Exactly.
Africa rebuilt Europe. Do you know how much of the 14 colonies of France that they contribute to France reserve every year? 500 billion.
Yeah.
That is what they take from just 14 colonies of France.
Yeah.
And you are coming to ask me how much the US gives to Nigeria. Do you know how much resources they take from Nigeria every day?
Yeah.
Because our wealth, we shouldn't benefit from it. They are entitled to it. We are not humans. They are more humans than we are. We rebuilt their country out still today, up until now. Black people are still running their economy, running every facet of their countries. Without Black people, Europe is nothing.
Yeah.
Without Africans, Europe cannot make. Europe is just done. It's gone. So we are the people sustaining their economy, sustaining everything that has to do with them. That's why they see every progress made by the Black community, by the Blacks. They are envious about, of it, and they want to tear it down.
Yeah.
Name it. Is it invention you want to talk about? That we are not. Done by Blacks. Everything they have were copied, from the Black people.
Exactly.
They don't have anything original. They never created any civilization. They don't have anything to offer. That is why they are so envious of the Black race, and anything that is going well for the Black people, they want to bring it down, because that is what they are known for. They are savages. That is what they are. We rebuilt Europe. Africa rebuilt Europe.
Yeah.
So don't come here to tell me how much Nigeria or Africa take from the US.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Well said. Well said, Ebi. Well said. Thank you so much. What I'm going to do, I'll quickly play a video. Let me play a video and give me 2 minutes. I'll be back quickly. I just want to play a video and let's all watch it, because it will talk about this in detail. You will get what you said there. It will back it up about what the US is doing, looting and everything else. So let's watch this quick sleep one here. Let's go back here. Okay. Are you playing? Yes, you are, but no voice. Beg your pardon. Where is it? I know I have a voice somewhere. Sorry. Here we are. Okay. Listen now.
Greetings all. Listen to Professor Akinyemi as he narrates what the villagers
So
told
everybody listen, back in a second.
the government officials about men, Americans, flying helicopters into where Boko Haram were and giving Boko Haram weapons, money, equipment, etc. Have a listen.
Helicopters piloted by white people kept landing and offloading guns, goods, and all kinds of things, and money to these people. Now, villagers they don't even know who these white people are, and they have no reason to lie to us. Now, we made a mistake. When I said some of us on the Boko Haram committee made a mistake. We thought it was the French that were doing this. Now we have an American congressman said, no, it was the Americans who were doing this. And when you then add that to the Obama administration refusing to sell weapons to us, to Nigeria, on the grounds that we had human rights violations in the way we were dealing with Boko Haram, not in the way we were dealing with ordinary Nigerians where there were no security issues. Then we got a plane that was going to go and buy weapons in South Africa. Someone tipped off the South Africans. It wasn't a Nigerian who tipped off the South Africans. Who tipped off the South Africans? You have to come to a conclusion that it...
Apologies. Sorry about that. Apologies. I thought I had it on.
All. Listen to Professor Akinyemi as he narrates what the villagers told the government officials about white men, Americans, flying helicopters into where Boko Haram were and giving Boko Haram weapons, money, equipment, etc. Have a listen.
Helicopters piloted by white people kept landing and offloading guns, goods, and all kinds of things, and money to these people. Now, villagers They don't even know who these white people are. And they have no reason to lie to us. Now, we made a mistake. When I said we, some of us on the Boko Haram committee made a mistake. We thought it was the French that were doing this. Now we have a congressman said, no, it was the Americans who were doing this. And when you then add that to the Obama administration refusing to sell weapons to us, to Nigeria, on the grounds that we had human rights violations in the way we were dealing with Boko Haram, not in the way we were dealing with ordinary Nigerians where there were no security issues. Then we got a plane that was going to go and buy weapons in South Africa. Someone tipped off the South Africans. It wasn't a Nigerian who tipped off the South Africans. Who tipped off the South Africans? You have to come to a conclusion that it has to be a power that had access to information and that was able to do that.
So it can now be stated categorically that the U.S. are funding terrorism and genocide in Nigeria. Not religious, they are funding genocide and terrorism because they provided weapons to Boko Haram. Citizen Ewa, what are your thoughts? Thank you.
So, I wanted to play that because it fits neatly. What this scenario fits neatly into Rosewood. It fits neatly into it. They provided the weapons for the whiteys to attack the community, but they prevented the black people to defend themselves. The same thing. It's the same thing. And we have to be very, very clear. It is the same thing that they're doing. Oh, hello? 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 Sorry. Can you hear me? Sorry about that. I thought I had it on. Can you hear me? Sorry about that. Apologies. Let me play that again. I was thinking that you heard it, but I'm going to play it. Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry. Let me play that again. Sorry. I was thinking that it was, I just had, okay, let me play that again.
Greetings all. Listen to Professor Akinyemi as he narrates what the villagers told the government officials about white men, Americans, flying helicopters into where Boko Haram were and giving Boko Haram weapons, money, equipment, etc. Have a listen.
Helicopters piloted by white people kept landing and offloading guns, goods, and all kinds of things, and money to these people. Now, villagers have they don't even know who these white people are. And they have no reason to lie to us.
Can you see in the picture in the middle there? Can you see there's a picture there in the middle? That is an American giving weapons to BH. There in the middle right there. They can go. We need to be very, I want to say this to Nigerians. All of these NGOs, and Ebi said it. Ebi said it that those, and she corroborated what I'm about to say. Those NGOs, they can go to deep in the forest that the locals cannot go to deep the forest, that these NGOs will go and meet this Boko Haram and come out alive. I just want us to think about that. I want us to think about that. The NGOs, okay, I'll make it larger. Let me see. Okay, I'll make it larger. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's do that for you. So, Okay, let's play that. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be in the background, so I'll play it again.
Greetings all. Listen to Professor Akinyemi as he narrates what the villager told the government officials about white men, Americans, flying helicopters into where Boko Haram were and giving Boko Haram weapons, money, equipment, etc. Have a listen.
Helicopters piloted by white people.
Guys, please look in the picture there. Can you see there's a picture of a white man in the middle there? American, likely, from what they were saying. In Boko Haram. This is in the forest with Boko Haram. They're in the forest with Boko Haram. And giving weapons and equipment. This is what Scott Perry said. So please take note of that. Watch that. That is a white person deep in the forest with Boko Haram. This has been going on for a long time, number of years. This has been going on and it's still happening now. This has been going on for a number of, and it's still happening now. It's still, even this, as we speak, this year is still happening because the NGOs have free reign. Listen on.
Kept landing and offloading guns, goods, and all kinds of things, and money to these people. Now, villagers have no, they don't even know who these white people are. And they have no reason to lie to us. Now, we made a mistake. When I said we, some of us on the Boko Haram committee made a mistake. We thought it was the French that were doing this. Now we have an American congressman said, no, it was the Americans who were doing this.
So this is, for those of you who may not know, this is Scott Perry. I believe he's a senator in the US. And he says that the US were funding US were on using the USAID. The aid that was meant to be aiding the people was being used to fund BH. Listen.
And when you then add that to the Obama administration refusing to sell weapons to us, I mean to Nigeria, I mean, on the grounds that we had human rights violations in the way we were dealing with Boko Haram, not in the way we were dealing with ordinary Nigerians where there were no security issues. Then we got a plane that was going to go and buy weapons in South Africa. Someone tipped off the South Africans. It wasn't a Nigerian who tipped off the South Africans. Who tipped off the South Africans? You have to come to a conclusion that it has to be a power that had access to information and that was able to do that.
So it can now be stated categorically that the US are funding terrorism and genocide in Nigeria. Not religious, they are funding genocide and terrorism because they provided weapons to Boko Haram. Citizen Ewa, what are your thoughts?
So, thank you for watching that. Thank you for, I wanted to share that. So the reason I bring that together, bring that to you is because it's the same ploy in Rosewood. They funded a group with weapons to take out another group. Now, what they've done is they've used one against the other to achieve one aim. Clearing of that area to make people afraid of staying in that area whilst they take the resources. And then they say to us it's genocide. But they funded it. Both cases, they funded it. And what is worse with Nigeria, like Ebi said, they prevented Jonathan from being able to actually go and confront Boko Haram. They wouldn't meet him in White House, in the White House. But they met 19 governors They met 19 northern Muslim governors. Can you see the hypocrisy? And in Rosewood, they wouldn't allow the black people to protect themselves by arms. The arms were always in the hand of those who did not like the success of that black community, the whiteys. This is what we need to really grasp. What they did in Rosewood is a blueprint for what they're doing in Nigeria, in Congo, in Sudan. This is we need to understand, because many people have all too often believed what we've been told. We believed it. We thought, oh, right, yes, you know, if only we do. Thank you very much, Ebby. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate. If only. No. And please, again, Gbogbo, I'm going to quickly say this in Yoruba, because I really want people to get to that level. We need this in the community. Ẹ sọ fún àwọn èèyàn yín pa nǹkan tá à ń fi tó yín létí bí o. Ẹ sọ fún wọn pé àwọn tẹ́ rò pé wọ́n fẹ́ràn wa o, wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn aláwọ̀ dúdú bíi tiwa lọ́dọ̀ wọn lọ́hùn. Nílò láti lọ bẹ̀. So what I've said basically there is just that I've told our people, look, in their local language, please be aware when they're telling you to come or America is good and everything else, they're not telling you the facts of what they've done in those communities of unaliving people and the damage of destroying an entire community because they didn't like their success. So we have to say this to our people in local languages. We have to say this, because you can see the connection between what happened in Rosewood and what is happening in Nigeria. You can see it's as clear as day. And they don't, you know, if we don't go looking for it and understand, so we can understand, and that history has to be shared. Because forget the leaders. This is beyond the leaders. The leaders are puppets. So the puppets will only dance to the tune of its master. But the people is who we are aiming this information at. We need our people in all our communities to have access to this information, because when the people say, no, we don't want this because X, Y, and Z, then the puppet will have no say. And in fact, they will not be able to put the puppet amongst us, because they require us not to have knowledge. When you don't have the right knowledge, they can control you. When you don't have the right, well, when I say right, when you don't have the complete knowledge, they can control you. They can manipulate you. They can dress things up for you. But when you have the knowledge, 100% knowledge of what is going on, there's nowhere for them to hide. They cannot use the puppet amongst you. But if the knowledge is not there, they can place a puppet among you. You will even be praising the puppet, thinking they're working for you. But that is why knowledge is key. We need to really arm ourselves in our communities with knowledge of the history of those who are coming to promise us heaven and earth in our community. We need knowledge about them. We need to know their antecedents. And that is why, again, I emphasize it. Please, 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 where possible, talk to your people about this in your local language. Make this go viral. Make this go viral so that communities start being aware. That is how we can arm ourselves against, protect ourselves and defend ourselves from being exploited. Once you know what they're about, you say it. But when people start talking about this to them, they have nowhere to hide. And that is what we have to make. We have to state those facts in front of them. Okay, so let me do a bit more digging.
Citizen Ewa,
yes.
I just want to ask you a question.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Have you wondered why there are no terrorists in the Western world?
Because they're all here. They're all here.
Because
They're all...
you can't find them here. They don't terrorize them.
No.
Does that not tell you something?
Very much so.
That they are the brain behind all the terrorism going on in Africa and the Middle East? Okay, look at those three great leaders we have behind you. They say Africans can't govern themselves. But we have these three great people behind you. But they still won't let them be.
Exactly.
How many attempts have they carried out on the life of Ibrahim Traore?
Countless.
We can't govern ourselves, but anytime we have any leader that wants to do something good for Africa, they want to take that leader down.
Yeah.
Because they cannot compete on a level playing field.
Oh, no.
The progress of Africa threatens them like there's no tomorrow. If they let Africa be, they know within a space of 5 years, they won't recognize what Africa will become.
Exactly.
One of them was saying Africa shouldn't be allowed to industrialize.
Yes.
Because if they allow us within a space of 10 years, we will surpass them.
Yeah. They've been
They
held.
should leave us alone.
Let's leave us
That's
alone.
what we are asking for,
Yes.
nothing more.
Yes.
Not their loan.
No, we don't need it. We don't need it.
We don't need a loan. We are self-sufficient. Only continent that is not supposed to import anything.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your great words again. And you honestly, these are the questions. And let me add to what Abby just said there. You see, you could see the terrorism that they are exporting. You could see that terrorism in what they did in Rosewood, in Tulsa. They went into a community that they were not part of, jealous of what that community was achieving. They used weapons to overwhelm that community, destroyed it, chased them away from their community. Meaning, if we do not start spreading these stories about what they're doing to Black people in the US, so that all of us in Africa and all around the world know the same fate that befell Rosewood, Tulsa Hill, will befall us on the African continent. I kid you not. I kid you not. There are some towns that they literally destroyed in the US and they flooded. Yes, in the US, there are Black towns that they destroyed. I will come up with those ones. And they flooded and they cover up. Sometimes in the summer months, some people can see church bells and buildings in the water because it was an old Black town that was successful and they destroyed it. This is what we are dealing with. This is what we are dealing with. So when the same people who are doing this bring the Bible, what does that tell you? When the same people who are doing this kind of massacres and unaliving and lynching, do you know, I'm sorry to say this, it's going to be uncomfortable and I found it shocking, that during the lynchings, I will show you at some point, they ate Black people. I'm sorry to say, but we need to talk about this. They ate Black people. It's souvenirs on their mantelpiece. But would they tell you this? No. So we have to be very, very clear about the kind of thing. They don't tell you this history. They don't tell you. And I mean, there are books on this stuff. And I'll probably do a show specifically on that. But anyway, I'm just showing you that and you know what shocks me is that when they're doing the lynching, it's a massive event where they're lynching Black people in the US. A mass of people watch it and they're smiling and they're shouting, you know, as this is happening. And these are the people who are telling us, oh, how to run our governance, how to do things. These are who we want to. We don't know. Unless we have this knowledge, we will keep inviting harm our way. And that is what we need to really be aware of. I'm only speaking facts. I'm not spreading rumor. I'm talking facts. And I'm giving you those facts so that we all awaken. Okay, let me do a bit more. I'll move forward a little bit more. I think I'll probably cover one more town, because there's about 10 of them I was going to cover. But I don't know if I've got enough time to do that. Okay. So, some survivors' stories claim that up to 27 black residents were unalived. They also asserted newspapers did not report the total number of white deaths. Minnie Langley, who was the carrier in the house, was besieged and recalled she stepped over many white bodies on the porch when she left the house. Newspaper published in 1984 estimate that up to 150 victims have been exaggeration. Several eyewitnesses claim have seen several mass graves which was filled with bodies of black people. One of them remembers seeing 26 bodies being covered with a plow, which was brought to Cedar Cave. However, by the time authorities investigated this claims, most of the witnesses were dead and too elderly to infirm to lead them to the site of to confirm the bodies. So look at that. So that's a settlement, yeah. And yeah. Anyway, I'm just giving you. You can read some more. You can read some more. So let me go for the next one. Let's see what's the next one. I want to read. We're just going to go through it slowly and slowly. Okay, the next one. We've done Black Tulsa, Rosewood, Elaine, Arkansas, 1919. Okay, so let's go and grade that up straight away there. I'll bring that to you. We need to, I know the reason I'm doing this one by one is we need to understand and sit with this. We got to deconstruct the image that has been put before us. We have to deconstruct it piece by piece. Piece by piece. Every one of us. This is not a job for one person. We have to deconstruct that image piece by piece. That way, we are all armed with the right information, and then our communities are protected. What we are doing by sharing this kind of information widely, virally, I hope it goes viral, is to arm us with knowledge. When you have the right knowledge, clarity is yours. You can't be deceived. You can't be deceived. You just simply can't be deceived. So let us look at this 1919 Elaine massacre. There's a video here. I don't know if I want to necessarily look at the video, but we can do that. We'll probably do that at another time. I just want to just read. I'm showing you there is a whole long list of things that is happening that we need to be aware of, and I'm hoping to bring it to our attention. Elaine massacre. There you go. You see that? This is clearly, I can already I can already see this is a propaganda right there. You see that Negroes plan to kill all whites. Slaughter was to begin. 24 prominent men as the first victims. We just begun password. Now here we go. Let's go and read this. Yeah, let's read it. So Elaine massacre. Listen, occurred in October 2nd, 1919, at Hoopsport, the vicinity of Elaine, Phillips County. Here we go. Yeah, where African Americans were organizing against peonage and abuses in tenant farming. As many as several hundred African Americans were murdered and 5 white men were killed. Estimate, as many as, let me just read that again, several hundred. You see that? These are who African governments need to be aware of all of this. These are the people who are telling us about governance. They go in gangs to unalive black people. But they don't want to know these facts. They don't want us knowing these facts. And we need to know. We must know. So now, so as many as several hundred African Americans were let me see, were unalived, and 5 white men were unalived. Estimates of death were made in the immediate aftermath of Elaine massacre by eyewitnesses, ranging from 50 to more than 100. Okay, Walter Francis. Okay, let me see what this one is. I don't want to. I wonder. Okay, so NAACP. But anyway, that I don't know. I'm again. I want to. We have to, unless we are writing our own stories. I don't want to necessarily. We have to be anyway. We just the whole thing. You just know what I mean. Anyway, who visited Elaine shortly after the incident? 25 Negroes. Although some place the Negroes' fatalities high as 100, more than recent estimates. Let me just prove what I was saying. Look at the writing. Look at what they wrote there. The way that is written was very alarmist, designed to frighten, make you but the actual reality was that it was the reverse. They were targeting and destroying the community because they were complaining. The blacks were saying we're tired of being killed and oppressed in our land. And they said for doing that, they did more killing. Unaliving, sorry. F1, let me type F1. Type F1 in the chat if you're watching with me. Like I said, I'm doing this because we have to all be aware. Now let me see. Now, okay. So let me just read them. Estimate of the death in the Elaine 50 to 100. 25 Negroes unalive, although some places the Negro fatalities as high as 100. More recent times in 21st century of the number of black people unalive during this violence are higher than estimates provided by the eyewitnesses and have ranged from into hundreds. The white mobs were aided by federal troops. There you go again. Have you noticed a theme here? The theme is the government is actively involved in this. The government that comes to Africa to talk to us about, good governance, they are actively involved in this unaliving. There was definitely, up until in the 80s, there was a group where in the 80s, and I find the name of the group. They came on after the Black Panthers. There was a new group, and the U.S. government went in with helicopters to BOMB to destroy that community. Again, black. So when we are putting faith in anything, I mean, this is something that every African government, we need to get this kind of book. Yeah, because they've exactly depopulate. Exactly. So you're right, Ebi. The plan is to depopulate. I'm going to actually do a program on the Henry Kissinger report on Africa, and we will break that down. I have the report somewhere. And when I saw it, I was just, and particularly what the plan they have for Nigeria, I just looked at it and it made me sick. And that plan is to just unalive. And we need to be, this is what they're doing. We should have nothing to do with this, people with this kind of history. They've tried to, we shouldn't. They shouldn't even be anywhere on the African continent. Just based on the history, this is not hearsay. I don't know what your thoughts are. My inclination is keep this away. Make sure that we know and keep telling that story so that the coming generation don't fall for their spiel. Literally. So. Yeah, and what is worrying? the government had a hand in all of this. You notice the three now: Tulsa, Rosewood, now Elaine. In every single one, the government is involved. So are we surprised to see that the actions of the US in the Boko Haram thing, in BK thing, a BH thing? And we can't be surprised, because you got the evidence of how they do things. Exactly, nature lover. That's what they're doing in Sudan, Sahel, Cameroon. Yes, this is what they're doing. And we need to call it out. As far as I'm concerned, African Union is a puppet of the Europeans or the colonials. The only true body that we should respect is the AES. And that should be expanded to cover the whole of Africa, because it is going to be for Africans. It is for Africans, and to protecting Africans and ensuring Africans benefit from the resources. But I'm showing you this, that the government, and it is not just, this is successive government. So let me see. Let's carry on a bit more. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to highlight this one, and I want you to look at that. You see? You see that? You see? So when they come and tell us that there's terror, this is it. Look at that. Just read those words. You read those words. And we must share this in our communities. I kid you not. This is information that has to be shared in every single community, so that we know. For one is forearmed. If we know this, and we continue to share this information, because they're coming to us with this in their hand. They're coming to us with this in their hand, and you think, oh, they're, and they carry out these things, and they try and they engineer us. That's why they're doing divide and rule. So here you go. You see that? Listen to this one. Governor Bro led a contingent of 583 units and Campike with a gun battalion. Look at that. Against the community of black people, who simply said, we are tired of being treated like this. Yes, they targeted the youth. Yes. Yes. According to Encyclopedia of Arkansas, the Elaine massacre was by far the deadliest racial confrontation in Arkansas history, and possibly the bloodiest racial conflict in the history of United States. Please, what are we doing with these people in our midst in Africa? What are we doing with? These are things that we need. Look, let me highlight it. Highlight this. What are we doing? What are we doing allowing these people in our midst? What are we doing? This is, I find this horrifying. The more you uncover, the more horrified one gets. All African organizations need to make sure that this kind of information is at our fingertips in every community, so that our youth who are keen to come to these places, I want to go to America, they don't understand what has been done, what has been hidden from them. Because if we know that information, then we are more likely to make sure that we keep these people away from us, so that we can build a better Africa for Africans. This is the reality of it. Nature lover, let me bring you in. I think you wanted to say something there. I'll bring it in. I like to bring different people in, and we can talk. If you want to join me and say a few things, nature lover, I welcome that. So let's hear from you. But I just want to, because we have to do this deep dive now. Greetings, nature lover. Welcome. What would you like to say? Hi there.
Yes, sir.
Greetings. So yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on what I've just been what we've been discussing thus far? Let's hear from you.
Yeah, because they don't teach us. They don't teach us.
So I blame the colonizers, but I also blame our leaders, because they actually massage and make it in such a way that we should not be aware about it. Because and the religion also kill us, our mind. So sometimes when you read something like this, the religion make you think like, oh, this is just a past. Now it's not more like that. You understand? So like, yeah, it's very sad in men, because and when you are talking about the religion is the problem, people don't understand it. Let me tell you, this story you are telling me, if I pick this story and I put it in front of a religious person, he will tell me that, oh, this has passed 19, that is then. It's not happening anymore. Meanwhile, it's happening. It's happening. You see, I don't know, man. I mean, citizen here, yeah, sometimes I just feel like, so I don't even feel like eating or drinking anything. For what? I'm just like, sometimes I just feel like I'm in a cage and I'm not allowed to move. I feel like, oh, so why are we giving birth to the children? What are we? What do we have? Something that you sit on it, you claim it is yours. Meanwhile, it's not yours. You sit down and watch. Somebody come and take it in front of you. And your mind still telling you, the person make your mind think that, oh, that thing is still yours. Meanwhile, he's the one taking all the profit. And he's keep on pampering you that, oh, it's okay. I mean, like, it's still yours. Look at you. That's your house. Your house is still there. You see where I'm coming from? I'm from Europe. So I'm coming from all the way far away from Europe. So if it is not yours, you wouldn't sit on it. Let me tell you, the whole land of Africa is being what? Sold out. I tell you, we are renting the land. We are renting our own land without knowing.
That is why this kind of knowledge is very important that we share. Because I think if we don't know, many of us weren't aware of this, that this is what they've done to black. There are 10, I've just picked, I've been talking, this is about the fourth community in America that I'm talking about, the massacre. And in every single one, the government has been involved in massacring black people. In every single one. But none of us knows this. And so go ahead. You
see that hypocrisy? Me, I always tell people that, let me tell you what is in me. I don't see any white being important than me. Even I can see that my gap between me and them is too far. If it comes to smartness, listen. So I want to ask you a question. Why is it that they are telling they have their own internal problems everywhere? You allow people to unalive themselves using pew-pew. Who is selling the pew-pew to the people? At the same time, you let the youth are on drugs so that they will not know what. Last time I was telling them, even the American citizens, some of them, they are fucked up more than even the African people. I tell you the truth. They also even brainwash their own citizens to the point that they are also stupid. Sorry for me to say that.
No, it's true. You're right.
They are also
You're right. The system. Like, you're right.
That's why when you put it in America, they feel like their country is better. Let me tell you, there's nothing like better than Africa. And trust me, they just deceiving us. Compare in Africa. The African, they sleep more than 8 hours. Ask the average American whether they can sleep 8 hours, even 6 hours, or even the Europeans without working. And in Africa, when somebody really have a car, the person pay the car cash. Okay? In Europe or in America, when somebody has a car, he is making payment every month.
Yeah.
So these two people, who is rich?
Yeah.
But they told them that they deceive these people to the point that they are arrogant and they feel like they are better. Their own people.
Very good.
Oh my goodness.
You're
These
right.
people are really man, they are really the Babylons.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't live with them.
yeah. Well, you're right.
We need to know who we are. We need to recognize who we are.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh my goodness! Look, I'm not saying even I like Africa. We can have corruption. Okay, if we are organized. To me, we can have corruption.
Yeah.
If our government are very good,
Yeah.
they can still be corrupt. Meanwhile, the people will still be okay, and the corruption can still go on good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, in America, corruption is not here. The leaders are not corrupt. They are very corrupt.
Very, very.
They steal the money. But you know what? They make sure the people get some job and basic necessity. That's just the difference. But Africa don't want, they always kill the capital that they should have used to create jobs. That's just the difference between the Western powers and African powers. Because the Western power makes sure they use the money to create some necessity for their citizens.
Yeah.
But the African leader, he wants to take the capital, instead of him to use the capital to invest and now get the profit and steal from the profit. He don't want that.
Yeah.
He wants to steal the capital and make the children now cry. Let me tell you something about them. Do you see this, the Ukraine situation? Okay, they take the citizen tax paying money and tell them that they are going to support foreign country.
Yeah.
And after they go, they negotiate with resources. Okay?
Exactly.
So ask yourself, after they go to war Ukraine and they get the Ukraine minerals, do you think that money, that resources will come back to the government?
No way. No way. No way. It's no way. No way.
But
so
when they want to help the people, they collect the citizens' tax paying money, send it there, but in return, the resources go to their corporations.
Exactly.
In their pocket.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you're so right. Only for time purposes, I'm nature lover. I wanted to get people to chip in, but thank you so much for what you're saying. I'll come back to you. Let me just bring others on, but thank you so much for those words. And we do have to look at the downside of we have to look at the downside of, and that's why I'm saying the downside of us just following everything they've been telling us to do verbatim and actually corrupting our minds, and we need to free the people from that, and by raising awareness, by doing this kind of discussions and teachings, so that all of us can actually grow and be at alert to prevent our communities from being regressed, if you like. Yeah. Thank you. Let's go to Virus Bible. You wanted to say something? Welcome, Virus Bible. Let's hear from you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Greetings.
Good morning, my brother.
Greetings.
I heard your topic. Your topic is that as an African, we should not let outsider to tell us what to do.
Yes.
We should come together and face Africa.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes. You're
and
absolutely
do you
right.
think it? Do you? Huh?
Yeah, right. You're right. Yes, that's what I said. Yes, that's what it is. Yes.
I hear you.
That's what it is. You're right. I agree with you. Oh, hang on. Sorry. I had my mic off. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. We need to work together.
But do you really think it's possible?
Yeah. One thing we have to do is we have to be aware of those who we are letting into our midst.
But you know that, excuse me seconds. You know that Nigeria government was not making any effort about all these things happening in Nigeria till America make this statement. Even only the statement America make has a work. Even only the statement, even if America did not come, only the statement make everybody panic. You know that people has been dying for how many years? These people does not care. Only that statement make all of that. Okay, excuse me.
Unalive, I mean, use the word unalive. Yeah, go ahead.
Nigerian government never accepted that there is a genocide in Nigeria. Only this statement that Trump make, that all of them accepted that there is a genocide in Nigeria. But before they have never accepted. But now all of them accepted. Just the only thing that they accept is that it's not only Christian, that is Christian and Muslim.
Yes.
They are buying everybody. But before nobody accepted. Why did they accept now? And why is it that they are they are making efforts now, even though they did not work anything. But right now they are making efforts. Excuse me, my brother. Something happened for something. America don't need to use boots. Don't need to come down to the country and fight for us. But only this statement they make, which is small thing. I do not mean that maybe America should come to Nigeria. I don't want America to come to Nigeria and fight for Nigeria. But Nigeria is a country whereby if a foreign power did not put back in Nigeria, our government will not stop this nonsense they are doing, which you self know. If a foreign power does not put a hand and challenge them in that Nigeria, the government will hijack the country from all of us. And you know that Nigeria is a country whereby they are trying to Islamize. What is the duty of Boko Haram?
My brother.
Why is the essence of Boko Haram? Is it not to Islamize the country?
My brother, can I say something?
I know. You want me to sit down and start telling you that America, we can fight for ourselves. Or we cannot fight for ourselves.
No.
Yes.
Hang on.
Can we fight for ourselves?
Hold on.
We can't fight for ourselves. It's not possible.
Virus Bible. That name, I have a problem with. Virus Bible.
That I said they are shooting. The American is the one producing the ammunition. Are they the one shooting it?
Listen, my brother. What we have to be very, very aware of something. Do you know that under Jonathan, that the U.S. government wouldn't sell weapons for Jonathan to combat Boko Haram?
Okay, thank you, man. Thank you, sir. This man in the comment section, he said, I heard America oil reserve is low. That is why America want to come to Africa. You that have the oil, do you see it? You are crossing Libya route, coming to Libya, crossing Libya route. I can remember Buhari regime. There was a time when Buhari said that our oil reserve has been shortened. That it's not that the money is not enough to take care of the country or something like that. But now America is coming, all of you are fighting for the oil reserve that are short. Oil that are short, all of you are fighting for it. I can remember when Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali get their independence from France. They make you understand that France is the one taking their oil, taking their national resources.
Exactly.
And they tell you how much they're selling their national resources to France. Which for you to understand that France is the one that keep them in poverty. So
exactly.
Who keep Nigeria in poverty? Who keep Nigeria in poverty?
My brother, you will. It's
because we are now fighting for our national resources. Meaning that the national resources, we are the one holding it. Then who keep us in poverty?
My brother, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
Ebi. I want to ask him a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you think we can fight for ourselves?
Go ahead. And Virus, 1 second.
Sorry, you are only talking this because they have not knocked on your brother's door and shoot him on the head. Because if they are doing it, you will not come out and say we will fight for ourselves. For how many years?
Hang on.
Brother.
Okay, hold it. Just wait, hold on. Yeah.
This same America that made a statement, Trump, tweeted or wrote on his Truth Social, that is going to gun is going to be blazing or stuff. Have you wondered who are the brain behind this killing, this unaliving going on in Nigeria, and the resources in Nigeria? Do you know how many percentage they give to this Nigerian government? Because the little percentage they give to them will be able to, make them rich, extremely rich, at the expense of every other Nigerian. Do you know how many barrels of oil they pump in Nigeria a day and how many Nigeria keeps? Do you know the resources of Nigeria? It's not even benefiting the politicians. I know they are thieves, which they are. Nobody is disputing that. But it's just little 0.1 is what they give to them.
Peanuts.
And they take everything to the Western world. And you are telling me the resources of Nigeria is kept in Nigeria because few politicians are benefiting from it.
Is it my fault?
And Trump made a statement for that. Every Nigerian is speaking of.
No, is it my fault?
Hold on. Nobody said it's your fault.
You are saying,
nobody said it's your fault.
Is it my fault? You have a house, you have everything to them, and you are blaming me.
It takes only a corrupt mind, a corrupt leader to be on. Because anybody that allows the West extort and exploit Africa the way they do cannot be anything but corrupt.
Exactly.
So what as you now have EBI, I just want to ask a question. Yeah. What do you think with this S-man, with all this is happening in Nigeria, what do you think is the solution?
The solution is not America because they are the brain
What
behind
do you
it.
think is the solution? I did not ask you as if America. What do you think?
I think is the solution is that they should look for a help elsewhere.
Which
Countries are willing to help them with.
Which country is that?
Certainly not America.
Which country?
Because America is the brain
I
behind it.
ask a question, like which country?
I don't know, but not America.
You don't know.
Certainly not America.
Okay, my brother,
Because
hold on.
America is
Thank
behind
you.
it. If
Hold
you
on.
listen to the speech of Hillary Clinton, this thing funding is coming back to quantum funding.
One
Next
second.
year that we're talking about
You have not on one of your family's head.
terrorism going on around the world.
Hold on.
Who are the
Now,
people?
one second,
They are
one second.
breathing their Congress,
One
they are
second, one
breathing.
second.
They are the brain behind all this terrorism going on.
Mhm.
And you are still going,
One second.
you know, the unaliving in Nigeria to come and help you. How is that possible? Makes sense.
President cannot protect his country. He's not worthy to be a president.
I'm
Yeah,
not
if a president cannot protect his country, he's
disputing
not
that
worthy
fact
to be
because
president.
even
Don't tell me about
Abacha said
America.
is that insurgency, you know, lasts for more than 24 hours. The government in it. And these people that are coming to help, they are the ones helping the people in government that they are Nigeria.
Who tell
They
you
are
that?
working together. There is no one that is in
What is
the
that?
government and
That-
the Americans are working together because you even saw one of the videos Citizen AY posted when an American was giving weapons who was meeting with the terrorists.
Why do you allow them? Why do you allow them?
Okay, what?
You
allow them. You allow them.
You do not know that you don't have control of your body.
Hold on.
You
Oh,
allow them.
okay, hold on.
Because
Vin- Yeah, one second. Virus.
As a president,
AB.
America,
AB, one second. Everybody, one second. EB, one second. Let me, EB, you've asked the question. Let me quickly go to Oluwabanwu,
Oluwabanwu.
and then we'll come back to you, EB. Let us quickly answer the question. But thank you for posing questions there. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, what would you like to say? Welcome, and thank you for waiting.
Yeah,
Let's
what
hear
I
from
want to say is that there are some people have already forgotten that since September 11, when that Twin Tower was blown down,
Yes.
the Americans have vowed to go after the Islamic terrorists wherever they are. They took two of them out of this country, out of UK. One of them was called Hamza, one-handed man like this, who was preaching in the mosque here in another part of London. It's now in Guantanamo. The other one was Abu Qatada. He was brought back by Theresa May to Jordan. That's where he belonged to. The children are still in this country. It's an asylum seeker in this country. All of them, they targeted them. They hacked their telephones. They saw their messages that they want the financiers of the Islamic terrorists in the world. Let me tell you something now. Do you know why Turkey was not allowed to enter the EU by Germans? The Germans say no. The Germans vetoed it. They said no. We are not going to allow Turkey to enter the EU because they are going to bring Islamic terrorists into the EU. They are not allowed. It's a member of NATO, but it's not allowed to enter the EU by the Germans. That's why they did. You know that when you are telling me that somebody there who invited them, they did not invite them. You did not invite them. You can tell me now that it is now you are hearing that they are killing both the Muslim and the Christians in Nigeria. Did the Muslim
say
did they complain? They did not make any complaint. And at the same time, the worst thing that we have, we know is that the vice president went to the EU to UN and complaining that fighting for the Palestinians, that Israel should allow the Palestinians to live. He did not even remember that his own country had been ruled by Lakurawa, that's another one, the ISIS, and all of them, by Boko Haram. He did not say that one there. He was fighting for his own part of the Muslim. That is it. It is what even Donald Trump said he gave Tinubu that if you cannot do it, I will do it for you. I will do it for you. I will come and help the Christians. That
Okay.
do you know that the repentant Boko Haram?
Okay.
They gave them uniform. They put them in the army. They sent them to the southeast, to the Igbos, to kill the Igbos. They are the one killing the Igbos.
Say on the live, please.
Yeah.
Don't use that word.
Okay,
Use
they are
on the live.
They are applying the Igbos there.
Yes.
It is the repentant Boko Haram. It is only in Nigeria you have ever seen something like that. That you put the terrorists that was on many Nigerians, thousands of Nigerians. Look at those people in the IDP there, the internal displaced people from Benue, from Plateau. They are human beings, children there. For goodness sake, you are seeking asylum in your own country. You tell and both Muslims and Muslim and what is that nonsense? That is why do you know that that's a Yoruba proverb that said I will do they say they are done like the eagle flying in the sky. Never realize that the people walking on the ground they are watching. That is what these people are. America has got satellite to record everything. All these things. They may not even see it, but the Americans are watching. They saw everything.
Okay.
You can't lie to them.
Okay. What is the solution? What's the solution?
They want to help the poor people. They go up to quarter.
What is the solution?
Where did it not go? You want to tell me what happened or what? More than 40 Christians were fired there. And you are telling me even hellfire. As the president, as the governor of Kaduna, he went to Niger Republic. He paid his brothers Fulanis. He brought them to Nigeria, to Southern Kaduna. In the first week, they end up with more than 800 Christians, both Igbos and Yorubas, in Southern Kaduna. I
understand what you're saying, but what is the solution? The solution to this situation? Can you give us a solution?
The solution is that if Tinubu cannot say like, okay, what is like Donald Trump cannot say they cannot do it. Let anybody can come and help us and get rid of this Fulanis and all these terrorists. That's my own opinion. We are coming to welcome them, the American soldiers, with flowers. If they can come and help us, enough is enough, for God's sake.
God. You make me laugh, honestly. By the time America visits Nigeria,
what American visit? What American visit? What
since that America has not visited Nigeria, how is Nigeria?
Our president.
I know.
Hang on, virus. Hold on, guys. Everybody, one at a time.
I will never ever, knowing their antecedents, I will never ever. Because
the Boko Haram has not gone to your door. They have not they've not kidnapped your family and asked you to come.
Okay, one at a time. One at a time, please. Let's just hang on. Let's 1 second. Sir, 1 second, please. 1 second. I think we should do. I hear you. I definitely understand the passion that you bring to this subject. I understand perfectly well the emotion because I as a citizen AY, I cover I have another platform, so Yubambe, but then cover and Kotoshele ni Kwara, cover and Kotoshele ni Kogi, cover and Kotoshele. I'm covering everything as much as I can where we are talking about the unaliving of our people. And I understand the passion that you bring to that. And I can see certainly that for definitely one of the issues that we have is the Sharia law situation back in 2000 has really brought us to this point that we are in right now. Because the imposition of that Sharia law has enabled northern leaders to divide Nigeria and try to control Nigeria by the Sharia law. And that is a problem. So I recognize that. The unaliving of people, here is where we slightly differ. The unaliving of people, however, has been facilitated, both Christians and Muslims, by America. Unfortunately, there are videos. There's a senator in America. His name is Scott Perry. I played the video earlier on, and he said the money meant for aiding people, the USAID money, has been funneled to the terror people, the BH. They've been funneled to them to carry out these atrocities. Now, this is a U.S. senator saying this, a U.S. senator. Now, the thing is this. On top of that, there are videos showing that the American helicopter pilots going into those bases to Boko Haram and giving them weapons. Now, yes, of course, it should be stopped. When Jonathan tried to stop them by buying weapons from, ordering weapons from US, the US said no. But the US were quick to give those same weapons to the Boko Haram. So we need to really understand that middle. So we have to be careful of saying, oh, US should come in, because they are behind the problem. They literally, they stopped Jonathan from getting the weapons. They told South Africa not to give Jonathan weapons to combat Boko Haram. So listen, don't misunderstand me. The northern elders have a lot to answer for, and they need to be held accountable. This is where my solution is this. If the government of Nigeria is serious about tackling security, they need to make sure that those northern governors and politicians are held accountable with immediate effect. They are facing EFCC, they are taken to court, their stuff confiscated because they have committed untold atrocities. Some of them are in government right now. So we are in agreement about that. I'm not going to try and tell you that it's only one way. But what I'm saying is that to facilitate this, the interest of the US in why they're doing that is of the resources of the nation. And we have to be very clear about how to solve this. We can't just say, oh, this and that. We've got to be very, very strategic in solving this problem. So for one, I think it's two-way. One, the Nigerian government must put pressure on the US to stop funding BH with any weapons. That's number one. Number two, then they need to now go about tackling this northern leaders and weed them out of. They are in government as well. They are in government, and they have to be made example of. That is what I think what we need to do. But if we're just going to say don't bring this and we have to be very, very strategic about how to deal with this, because we have a number of issues that are causing this genocide, and it is a genocide not religious. It is genocide, period. And it is being funded.
My brother.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear. That's my take.
You said Americans are the ones funding the
Yes.
Do you mean that our government does not know that our president does not know that America is the one funding it?
Some of them may know, but what I'm saying to you is that the US senator said that the money meant, hang on, the money meant, hold on. Let me just, it's important to hear this point. The money meant to give aid to the communities that are suffering, that are poor, the USAID money. That money, they used it, instead of giving it to the aid, the Americans gave that money to the Boko Haram.
No, it is our people that
Okay, I understand what you said.
So we need to be okay, guys, hold on. Let me play you a video. Before we talk, let me play you a video. Please watch this video. I will take my face off. Watch this video. Hang on. And then we can talk more, because that way you will get a clearer picture. Watch this video and then we can talk.
Greetings all. Listen to Professor Akinyemi as he narrates what the villagers told the government officials about white men, Americans, flying helicopters into where Boko Haram were and giving Boko Haram weapons, money, equipment, etc. Have a listen.
Helicopters piloted by white people kept landing and offloading guns, goods, and all kinds of things, and money to these people. Now, villagers have they don't even know who these white people are. And they have no reason to lie to us. Now, we made a mistake. When I said we, some of us on the Boko Haram committee made a mistake. We thought it was the French that were doing this. Now we have an American congressman said, no, it was the Americans who were doing this. And when you then add that to the to us, to Nigeria, on the grounds that we had human rights violations in the way we were dealing with Boko Haram, not in the way we were dealing with ordinary Nigerians where there were no security issues. Then we got a plane that was going to go and buy weapons in South Africa. Someone tipped off the South Africans. It wasn't a Nigerian who tipped off the South Africans. Who tipped off the South Africans? You have to come to a conclusion that it has to be a power that had access to information and that was able to do that.
So it can now be stated categorically that the U.S. are funding terrorism and genocide in Nigeria. Not religious, they are funding genocide and terrorism because they provided weapons to Boko Haram. Citizen Ewa, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so you've all had that. Sorry. So you've all had that now. And I think it is important, and thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to listen. The reason why I played that is because, you see, please, that does not mean that the Northern elders are not blamed. They don't have a part in this. It doesn't mean that. It just means that they were used, they are being used by the US for their ulterior aims. Because you heard them say it. One, the US senator said the funds were being, the USAID funds were being given to BH to carry out the terror. Two, you know, the US didn't allow the Goodluck Jonathan's government to protect the people. Now, the problem that we have now is the northern elders are doing the same thing in not allowing local groups like Amotekun to protect their people. That is where the government needs to step in. So the government needs to do two things. One, put pressure on the US to back off because they are trying to destabilize the nation. That is a fact. Two, the government needs to now put pressure on all of these northern leaders, these governors, to stop them from actually funding and pushing the Boko Harams into the other territories. And the government has to arm the army, plus at the same time arrest, you know, this bunch of leaders. In my opinion, that's what I think we need to do. But I don't know. Does that make any sense to you now, Oluwa Banwo?
It doesn't make any sense. You know why?
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
I know what Donald Trump said.
Okay.
He said Tinubu should be fast, has to be fast and do it. Protect the lives and the properties of the Nigerians. That is what he is asking for.
Okay.
It's not saying that he's coming to invade us.
Okay.
We cannot be blaming the Americans. Blaming the Americans, it means that we are stupid. When you open your door for the thieves to enter and you are blaming thieves, you don't blame thieves. You blame yourself. It's as simple as that. We are stupid. Even Abacha said, when the terrorists can work for 12 hours, which means the government knows about it. That is the average. That is what is going on.
I agree with you.
Why is Tinubu now giving the order to go and buy them now? He said they should go for them. That is what it is. America do not need. They already said it, that wherever the Islamic terrorists are, they will go for them. They went to Pakistan to get rid of bin Laden. They did not tell the Pakistanis that they are coming. It's as simple as that, wherever they are. It's not nothing in Nigeria. They are not coming for petroleum. What petroleum? If petroleum, what do I get for the petroleum after all? They will sell the petroleum and go and save the money into their bank in USA. Do you know how many millions that Tinubu has in their banks there? All their ministers, even their children are not in their studying in Nigeria. They are there. They have their, even this man just went and bought a mansion there. All of them, they are spreading, they are selling the petroleum and bringing the money to them. That we are telling that if they can come and bring Donald Trump can come and take the petroleum, I don't care. I will be alive. My family will be alive. That is what I'm talking about. We don't blame them. Don't talk about the Americans.
Can I?
Go to Libya, no.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something quickly? I'll come back to you, nature level. We have to look. I'm afraid. I know. Like I said, I fully understand your passion that you, as you're speaking. I'll mute you because it's echoing. I fully understand the passion that you bring to this topic, that you want this solved like that, and you want America to come in. But please look at what America has done to Libya. America said they wanted to go and help Libya. And now Libya has Nigerians, Black Africans have been enslaved in Libya. And all because the US didn't want Libya to help fellow Africans. So what I'm saying is that we have to be careful the kind of help that we're going to get. Once the US start taking decisions, they think about the US interest only. Case in point, again, another case, Iran and Iraq. Iraq, the US went in, Halliburton and all these companies took the oil. As we speak right now, there is over $1 billion of Iraqi money in the US that the US is refusing to release to Iraqis to be able to manage their own land. So the point I'm making is we have to be careful. We know the antecedents of the US in the game of playing, I'm coming to help you. They are really only coming to help themselves. Look at Syria. Look at what is happening in Ukraine. So I understand that we need this solved, but I would like to think there is a way we can solve this. I think we need to look at what they did in Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger from the point of view of the kind of help that they got. The help they got help from China and Russia. And those two to all groups point out that they now have, whereas they're getting help from you, from